Right back to the QLS channel. We are here for the last game of the Six Nations round 4.
Yeah.
Now, it's an important game taking place here because Ireland, if they win this, they all but have one hand on the Six Nations trophy. Whereas if Scotland win it, there is Ireland, Scotland, and France who all have a chance in the final round. We did see France absolutely, well, to say it nicely, they obliterated England, didn't they? 53 points to 10. That helped them with their points differential. And I'm wondering whether or not that puts that little bit of extra pressure on this Irish side. It shouldn't. They just need to get themselves the win, go into their game next week up against the English, and take out that win as well. But we've got George with me. Hello, mate.
I'm here.
You are. You're wearing your green. Is that because you support the Irish or just because that's your shirt?
That's my shirt.
It is. It's my shirt.
It's weird seeing a rugby stadium full. so used to Melbourne.
Yes.
Near shit.
Super Rugby round or the Super round of Super Rugby, we saw approximately 5,000 in attendance. Twickenham was sold out yesterday.
Yeah.
A lot of people would have been asking for refunds, I would be thinking. But that man's dressed as a flower. You don't see that in New Zealand either, do you?
No, you don't. There's no pride.
No passion.
Yeah.
But we've got Go Ireland from Scrum. Let's looking through at the Irish starting lineup. We've got them on paper today. What's that? It's a annoying bloody gift voucher.
That's what I
Let's take one of those.
Damn, do one of those. Get yourself some more adapters.
Bloody good. Ireland starting lineup will be Andrew Porter, Dan Sheehan, and Tyke Furlong as the front row, so very strong.
Yeah.
Most Leinster boys thrown in there. Ian Henderson and James Ryan as the locking duo. Then this very strong loose forward trio. Peter O'Mahony, Josh Van Flair at number 7, and Caelan Doris. Very informed and very handy to have out there on the park. He will be playing number 8. Then the 19 combo. Conan Murray, Johnny Sexton. A lot of experience between those two. Sexton wants to take out his Six Nations in a World Cup before he retires. This could be the year that he's able to do it, perhaps. James Lowe, number 11, Bundy Arkey and Gary Ringrose slotting in as the midfield combo. Mack Hansen out on one wing. Like I mentioned, James Lowe out on the other. And then Hugo Conan slots in at number 15. So that is the starting lineup for the Irish. Then for Scotland, it is going to be Pierce Gorman, George Turner, and Xander Fagerson as the 1, 2, 3. Richie and Johnny the Greys as the 4 and 5. 50 Shades of Grey. And the locking duo. Matt Fagerson, Jamie Ritchie, and Jack Dempsey, who you would have heard of a little bit. Jack Dempsey used to play in Australia and used to play for Australia as well. Ben White at 9. 10, they've got Finn Russell. Now, I'm wondering how he plays this game because normally the thing that makes Finn Russell so great is that unpredictability of what kick is he going to try and do. Is he going to go for a grubber? Is he going to chip it in behind? Is he going to run it himself?
Could do both.
He's got many options, doesn't he? Could do all three. Sione Tuipulotu in the midfield combo with Hugh Jones out on the wings, Duan van der Merwe and Kyle Steyn, and then Stuart Hogg, the man starting at number 15. But we have got their massive game. Who do you guys think will win? I'm picking, even though it's in Scotland, I think Ireland win by 5. There we go. I think it's going to be a close game, and I think it's going to be a pretty tricky one for the Irish to get the tempo of early. When you hear Murrayfield absolutely packed out singing for the Scots, it's going to make it tricky. But then that's the thing. We've said that about Ireland before. Looking at the way that they came into New Zealand, won that series. You know, people didn't think it was possible. You still got PTSD from that series.
James Lowe, what a dick.
Some people say I used to look like him when I had my head told back. Except about
Bundy Arkey, I like him though.
1,000th of the rugby player I was, wasn't I? Right? Are you streaming the game? We are commentating the game. Won't be able to show any match footage due to licensing, but I can recommend a few places that you can watch it, including, I always forget the one for Ireland, but I think it's Virgin Media. He's going to be running out onto the field there. Daddy 100. That's what he's got written on the back.
Who's that?
That's Stuart Hogg's boy.
Oh,
for the 100 match.
Someone's child is lost. She was like, get off, go home. You go home.
It is raining, unfortunately, at the ground. and not if he wants his channel sanctioned. And evening, gents, how long until the match kicks off? I see the fishermen chilling and waiting. Says Josh Pikes. So currently we are sitting probably about 20 seconds away from the kickoff. Luke Pearce in charge of this one, assistants Wayne Barnes and Christoph Ridley.
26 looks old as shit, man.
Yeah, but he's playing some of the best rugby he ever has, Johnny Sexton. So, you know, age is just a number.
Yeah. For a while.
For a while. It kicked off this match between the Irish and Scotland in Scotland. Nicely taken by Jack Dempsey. Massive fend on Mack Hansen. Not really the start of the match that you want, is it, for Mack Hansen?
No.
Like, he's made the tackle, but you warm up for an hour.
He got fucked up, you know.
It's not, yeah, he did, and great just tuned in on time. Says Josh Pike, and surely not raining in Scotland. No, it is, unfortunately. It also rained at Twickenham. I think it might have rained I think Italy had nice weather for a bit. Oh, juggly. Good work from Hugo Kenan, though, to be able to regather. Last thing you want is a knock on early on. An important fixture. Conor Murray goes across there to Caelan Doris, who I'm picking to actually score a try in this contest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although good work in the breakdown from Fagerson for the Scots. Bundy Arceus to come into halfback.
Oh.
Off to the side again, it is going to be Ian Henderson.
Oh, my commentary's good.
Yeah, you just make car noises.
Yeah. Whee.
Nicely taken inside of the 22 by Finn Russell. He'll have the mark and now booting it back downfield. That one will drift into touch. That's a great kick. From inside of his own 22, gaining 50 metres of territory. The sanction will be worth it, though. For me, that is, says Brooke. Yeah, not so much for us. We'll have 3 months of not having a job. But if you're hiring, you know, we'll be all right. 4 a.m. in the morning. It is. As you guys can see through that window behind George's head there, it's dark.
Not daytime.
No. It's a little bit late. But it will be daytime almost by the end of this match.
Yeah. We're going fishing.
Dan Shen takes it nicely. Straight to Henderson. Breaking off the back, Josh Van Fleur goes across to his loose forward teammate and Caelan Doris. Conor Murray puts up the box kick and Mack Hansen's chasing this one. Duan van der Merwe takes it nicely. Now he did score a highlight try earlier on in the Six Nations.
Yes.
Yeah. Fierce human. Passes off nicely. Looks like it's going to be available at the back for Ben White. Goes to Russell. Opts for the pass to Stuart Hogg. Bounce pass. Kyle Stain driven backwards by Bundy Arke legally, I should mention. He's found himself on the wrong side of a few suspensions lately. Yeah, unfortunately. The man likes to tackle around the head.
Yeah.
Call him Owen Farrell, except minus the shoulder.
Oh, Farrell's a dick.
40 metres out from their own line now, Scotland. Tui Piloto in the midfield goes off to Hugh Jones, who starts to skip towards the 40-metre line, side of Irish territory. 5 phases, not really many stoppages other than that kick into touch from Finn Russell off the mark. Other than that,
it's been running, isn't it?
It's been quick rugby. It's good.
You know, go for it.
Now Finn Russell going for the awkward kick in behind. Now it did work last week when they were trying to force France back to a certain extent, but they weren't quite able to take enough of their chances to make it worthwhile. Morning, gents. Scotland still missing star player Darcy Graham, says Nate. And as we've got that 100 up for the GOAT. We've just been blessed with load shedding for F's sake, says Gareth. That feels like the wrong time. Definitely because of how many South Africans love watching Scotland play, because there's a lot of guys close to their own heart in that side. And Darren's so excited for this game. Up the Scott, says LB, and go the Jocks, says Mumbo Jumbo Kiwi. And I'll get back to you at halftime. My stream is like 10 seconds behind your commentary, says Mo. And go Knowledge. Go Ireland, says Knowledge. And then away you guys in the shed. Now we are in the lounge. The stage with the door closed, hoping not to wake up the parents.
Yeah. Craig will lose his shit.
He will.
Beat us.
On a Monday morning as well. Terrible way to start the week.
Coming here with the nail gun.
James Lowe goes off the Bundy Arke. Scotland. They have to try and defend here. Had a few minutes of attack, didn't they? They didn't really make a huge amount of territory, but now Conor Murray, nice inside ball. Receives it back from Sexton. I'm hoping both of these sides get out of this game injury-free, because I want to see their full-strength lineups for their final week of the Six Nations. Now, Scotland play Italy, whereas Ireland play England.
That'll be a big game, wouldn't it?
Yeah, the big question is, who would you rather play at the moment?
England.
You think, yeah, it almost
They
is
seem
the
quite
case.
shit,
Yeah.
Quite shit.
James Lowe. Now hitting the ball up again. Ireland going to the short side. Sexton with the grubber in behind. Playing the territory game similar to what we saw from Scotland last week against La Bleu. And Johnny, he's given someone a right bollocking.
Get it,
Who's
Johnny.
that? Who's he looking at? Oh, that's a risky play.
Oh,
Caelan Doris takes it 1 metre out from the line.
TikTok sponsoring Six Nations.
Don't know, but they're doing a good job at the moment with the highlight reel finish from the Irish. And that will be the try for Dan Sheehan, who for Scotland decided to throw that ball in quick.
I don't know what happened there.
To a certain extent, I want to say I can understand because they didn't want to have a line out 5 metres out from their own line. But why would you, up against an Irish side with this man like Caelan Doris who flew in? Yeah, they went to the back, thought that was going to work. It didn't. Caelan Doris stole it round the side. Andrew Porter, 1 metre from the line. And then Dan Sheehan finished the job. Yeah. Or did he? They want to have a look at this. Why did they do that?
Well, I'd say it's TikTok's fault.
Is it?
Yeah.
Hello from Cape Town. Load shedding is 55 minutes. I support Scotland, says Penelope. And Scotland line out turning to WTF or WT. Yeah, it's such a weird choice because who was it? It was, oh no. I thought it was Stuart Hogg, but it was actually George Turner. Yeah. You share a first name with him.
What a dumbass.
Him or? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. They're going to have a look at this, though, to see whether or not there's any reason to not call it a try. And by the looks of it, they're going to call it not a try. Now, we haven't got sound, I should mention, because the TV, as fancy as they are starting to get, this one doesn't have an audio jack. You know who does have a jack?
Me.
Scotland. Jack Dempsey got the ball at the moment. What a seamless transit. Thank you very much.
Shit, yeah.
I'm still wondering what you mean by you've got a jack. Where do you keep your jack?
Everywhere, man. It's just around the area,
Around the area?
Bob your neighbour's got it sometimes.
You jack off Bob?
Yeah, jack off Bob. He likes it. He likes just jacking.
Penalty goes to Scotland. Now, they've survived, or they've dodged a bullet there, I guess you could say. So I believe the reasoning behind it was that maybe because it was a different ball, they weren't actually allowed to take that quickly.
So you don't little kid just got hit in the face by that ball.
You hate to see it, but do show a replay. Andy Farrell.
So, yeah.
It could be worse. He could be coaching England.
Yeah.
Hey?
Well, it's the Midfield ball flick.
Yeah, he'll love it.
Eh? Ball flick.
He looked very happy. And no try Scotland or lucky there, says Barry Power. Very lucky for Scotland that they switched the balls before going for the quick throw. Richie Gray now coming actually off the field. It'll be for Scott Cummings, and it looks like there is an Irish player down at the moment. That's Caelan Doris. That may have been from the way that he landed after jumping for that line out.
It's kind of funny.
Now, I have a bit of a question about that.
Yeah.
We've seen players jump into challenges before and get penalties for being taken out in the air.
Yeah.
Would that theoretically override the random line?
Maybe. I don't know. He wasn't that high up. I don't know.
Because it's a silly rule sometimes, isn't it?
That's off a kick.
Or off a pass, in fact. If you jump into a pass and you get dropped, that's Richie Gray. He looks like he's done something to himself, maybe in the leg department, or he's just having a quick spell.
Yeah.
Now George Turner throws it in, unsuccessful, and now the Irish have been able to take the ball back here. They do have to release him, and Ireland just cheated by the ref, says Michael. I think they got unlucky on a technicality, and I wonder whether or not Stuart Hogg knew of that technicality and hoped that they wouldn't pick up on it. That's going to be a tough take for Finn Russell. No, in fact, it's Kyle Stain. Takes the mark only 1 metre out from his post. Well, he's a solid bloke. I think I'll back him in a match-up between him and the squeezy part around the post. Maybe not the post
Squeezy
itself.
part.
Yeah. What's that called?
Post covers?
Yeah, those things. Post covers don't sound cool, though, do they?
Squeezy part around the post?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And hey, guys, keep the English digs coming. Oh, we deserve it all. We were dreadful yesterday. I couldn't believe what I was watching. I stayed up till 5:45 a.m. and it just...
What the shit?
You know when you think it's going to change at some point throughout the match and doesn't.
Shit just goes from worse to worse.
That was pretty much how it went for the English, unfortunately. It's like when they brought up that it was the highest points they've ever conceded in the Six Nations. 2 minutes later, France score again.
Yeah.
Kicked him behind there from Gary Ringrose. Ball's going to pop up. Nicely taken by Stuart Hogg, who's just driven into touch by James Lowe. Although I think he was also trying to run out. Now, Ireland want to take this one quickly. Conor Murray with the same ball doesn't go for it. And these French did what Severs loved doing, smashing the palms, says LB there. And we have got there for some reason. I don't trust this referee. Luke Pearce, normally known as one of the better ones around.
Yeah.
So I feel like you're in good hands at the moment.
Corruption's corruption, Hamish. Yeah.
Don't start conspiracy theories.
Well, why not?
And Sheehan throws the ball in, nicely taken by Henderson. The Irish looking to roll their way towards the try line. It looks like in Scotland the sun's out at the same time as it's raining.
That's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Now, breaking. Who's got the ball at the moment? It's that geezer there who's just about to be dropped, isn't it? There we go. Ball's down on the turf. Conor Murray missed the opportunity to go to Bundy Archie.
Shut him down early.
And they have got themselves the penalty advantage. I believe that's offside against Finn Russell, the number 10 for Scotland. Now off again. It would have been Ian Henderson. Short ball to Dan Sheehan. Almost scored himself a try not too long ago in this contest. Around the side, Andrew Porter taking big contact. Another advantage against Scotland for being offside. Murray back to Sexton. Short ball to Ringrose. Spins and doesn't go for the stretch. Instead, lets it recycle back to Conor Murray. Furlong, in fact, says go the other way. That's something you don't normally see from the big man. Normally, he's chomping at the bit to get himself over the try line. Now,
Selfish
around the side. No, it's just he's how much? 120 kgs. You're not going to stop him.
Yeah.
The man eats a lot of food. Josh Van den Fleur goes across to Johnny Sexton. Wide ball to Hansen. One-on-one with Duan van der Merwe. Offload on the inside. Nicely taken. Driven into touch by Cummings. They had the advantage. They'll go back for it. Hamish, do Ireland's are favourites to win this one? They are coming in as favourites, but Scotland at home are a hard side to beat.
Oh, shit.
That one snuck up on me.
Yeah.
Just exploded my brain cells.
Yeah. I sometimes go blind when I sneeze.
Yeah?
Oh, shit. Yeah. Ooh-wee.
You know what I've never been able to get behind?
What's that?
The people, no offence, who go like that when they sneeze. They
I
block
can't
your nose.
understand it. Where does that shit go, man?
Yeah, like you just, your
Some people
brain's going to.
Some people sit there and they just go, oh, are you all right? Like that goes straight to your brain. You know what I mean? Like,
I enjoy my mum's sneezes. She makes a bit of a yish kind of.
you know.
Yeah.
Oh, what's the vision these
But yeah.
days?
But like, yeah, blocking the nose. There's so
Yeah.
much pressure
Yeah.
from a sneeze. That's the point of letting it out, and they just,
Yeah.
you
I
know,
love a good sneeze.
yeah.
Oh, it's like a good poo, isn't it?
Johnny Sexton going to be taking on 3 points
Still
here.
can't believe they're being sponsored by TikTok.
Oh, TikTok's got plenty of money, don't they?
Yeah.
So they don't pay their creators. Johnny Sexton, first kick of the game. 11 metres out. Should be easy enough, shouldn't it? And straight down the middle.
You'd hope so. Why did he not go for a try?
Well, it's a little bit surprising, but I guess to a certain extent, they feel they're going to be able to get a try a bit later on anyway. But a 5-pointer for them winning this game, getting the bonus point of 4 tries or more, might be the difference between them winning and losing the Six Nations. Who knows? Looks like Jack Conan making his way onto the field. That is for Caelan
What
Doris.
team am I on?
He just needs confirmation. That's going to be for Doris. That's a big shame because that was like 2 minutes after I said, I hope everyone gets out injury-free. And then Richie Gray also got injured. So I shouldn't have said that because now everyone's dropping like flies. Caelan Doris replaced, though. Jack Conan, not a bad replacement, is he?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Taken by Stuart Hogg. Running into the half of Ireland, looking to fire back with a try straight away here, Scotland. Although they will also take on the 3 if it is available. And Ireland, well, number 1, they should be able to hammer Scotland, says Crumpus. Although it all depends, doesn't it? Because you look at the likes of a Scotland who can cause an upset when they are playing. Definitely when they're at Murrayfield. They seem to just have that ability of keeping a game close. Nice step there from, I believe that would have been Jamie Ritchie playing number 7 for this match. Finn Russell inside ball. That was Duan van der Merwe, a man that they've got to shut down early throughout this fixture. Can't afford to let him start to get a bit of space. Hugh Jones goes across now to George Turner, offloaded up to Jack Dempsey, cuts on the inside, breaks through one tackle, but Sexton drags him down. Now Gray, the remaining Gray. I think there's only 2 Greys, isn't there?
I don't know.
There's
I
only
haven't counted them.
Richie and Jamie. Another big tackle made on, it was Jamie Gray that time. No, is his name Jamie? Johnny, sorry, not Jamie. Johnny. No, it started with a J. Now, White goes to Schoolman, driving up to 22 metres out. We have got Burt here as well. Welcome in Scotland by 7. That's what my money's on, says Gareth. Could happen. They're up to 13 phases in a row at the moment. Here's the big man, Xander Fagerson. White goes off to Russell. A little bit of space down the wing for
Good run.
Stuart Hawke. 100th match as well from him. Imagine if it can be a win. That was a tough sentence.
Like that. I
Finn
want
Russell.
Scotland to win. I want Scotland to win.
Is that so that the Six Nations is closer for the final round?
Yeah, and I like to see Ireland lose.
It's just a salty Kiwi, isn't it, from the last series?
That's exactly what that is.
Now, ball available, Ben White, 17 phases for Scotland.
My enemy is your enemy.
No, that's not quite the same. The enemy of my enemy is the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah. So from New Zealand, Ireland's my enemy, Scotland's my friend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. It looks like the GNA keep it tight till half time. Expect fireworks in the second half and Ireland hanging out for the rucks. Scotland should pick and goes, says LB. That was a good run from Stuart Hogg. He didn't have a lot of space down the wing, did he? But
bumped off Johnny Sexton.
Yeah.
Old Johnny didn't put in a huge effort there.
Oh,
I got him.
I'm into touch in there. Now, it's interesting, though, because you look at one like that. He's done well because he's hit him in the chest, but there was one yesterday that ended up with a yellow card for an extended forearm.
Yeah, I've seen those before.
So he was like this. So he's probably, if he went a little bit higher, Sexton saw.
Oh, my neck's broken.
He should be all right, though. He's becoming more resilient with age, Johnny Sexton. You know how, like, some elderly people, not saying Sexton's elderly, but you know how some of the older generation, like, you think, yeah, have you managed to fall over and still be fine?
Yeah.
Whereas some of them just fall over and break their hip.
Yeah.
He's not one of those guys.
No.
You know, he's a resilient, not elderly person. He's slightly older than the younger men in the team, but he's still like, that's the thing. Everyone's like he's ancient, but he's still only like 35.
Yeah.
Something like that. Still got a lot of living left in him. Going to be rolled back now. Conor Murray, 5 minutes out. Finn's boy, Russell, looking comfy out there. Says Nate, and like the stream, only 16 people so far. Says so. Be sure to leave a like on the stream, ladies and gentlemen, and subscribe. Duan van der Merwe now is going to try and carve his way through this Irish defence. Runs straight into the challenge of Peter O'Mahony. He's also one who's resilient. Like, I've never seen someone land on their head so much and not show any signs of landing on your head so much than Peter O'Mahony. Duan van der Merwe driving 10 metres out from the line. Ben White with the pick and go around the side of the breakdown. Made a couple extra metres. Looks like Pierre Schoolman going to play halfback now. Goes across. Only metres from the line that time. It's Cummings. Taken out round the side. Duan van der Merwe thought he was a forward.
That wasn't.
Learned that he wasn't. Got driven back about 5 metres.
Irish boys are getting up. What's that guy? Just see that. The Irish player. Oh, that's funny.
Now Ben White goes across the three below. Great chance for the Scots, and they get through. Hugh Jones scores the opening try at Murrayfield, and Scotland will now take the lead. Should be a nice, easy 3-point as well.
Did you see that player?
The one who was getting held down, was it?
No, he was doing a ruck, and then they switched places. He got up, and then the ruck went into him, and he fell over. He's like, and he held the shin, and you're like angry. That's what you look like. It's funny.
That's the thing. I always wonder about like the shins and whatnot, because UFC fellas, to train their shins, they kick like a tire.
Yeah.
But I feel like after kicking a tire a few times, even tapping your shin like 20 times in the
Yeah.
same spot, you're like,
Yeah.
not keen.
No.
But kicking a tyre repetitively shouldn't feel fun.
No.
Hugh Jones, that will feel fun, scoring a try up against Ireland, the first of the match. Bit of a clap from Gregor Townsend. It was only a light clap, wasn't it?
It was like,
It was
yeah,
an appreciation.
that's good, but we're not winning.
Mm.
We are, but we're not.
And Scottish sheep shaggers have a try, says Barry. It's fair to say that Barry wants Ireland to win, perhaps. Or he just hates everyone that's
Barry.
not South African.
Barry.
And Lekker Scotland says roll off. And Scotland, I told you, man, pick and go always defeats the team standing off the rucks, says LB. And rankings doesn't mean anything lately. The top 6 could beat each other on any given day. Exactly right. Oh, no, Dan Sheehan's injured.
The Irish are folding. They aren't holding the...
Well, there's a few players who are getting in
They
there.
are not holding the base. Oh, God, it's going awful.
It's still very dark outside, isn't it?
Anyway.
Kick was successful from Finn Russell. Now Jack Dempsey makes his way forward again. Scotland, that will give them a bit of early confidence. Because the thing is, if they win this game with a bonus point, guess what?
Oh, shit.
No. Well, but Scotland would go into their next round with a game up against the Welsh. No, sorry. They will play the Italians, like I mentioned earlier on.
Yeah.
And then if they win that game with the Six Nations bonus point, they could find themselves right up there.
Who won Six Nations last year?
Last year was France.
Oh, yeah.
We were able to beat Ireland in France. It was a close encounter. This year, Ireland beating France in Ireland. So, yeah, a bit of a mixed bag. Now, Sexton goes back across to Mack Hansen, short ball to Josh Van den Fleer.
Finally was here.
Well, I think
Slowly getting there.
it seems like it was a slight wake-up call of that first try. That looked close to forward. Another offload made.
It's weird watching it, though, because when they make these runs, or they go out the back line, they are actually a lot better with the ball than a lot of these Southern Hemisphere teams.
The Irish.
We were watching that, what was it, those 2 Aussie teams?
Oh, yeah. Brumbies, Reds.
And they were just dropping the ball. They couldn't get a single sequence like the Irish here are doing it time and time again. They couldn't do it. They couldn't catch the ball without dropping it.
Bit of a counter up there from Scotland. They've actually ended up with the ball at the end of it. I always say that Ireland's backline, for me, reminds me the most of an old school rugby game. How you spam one side and all the passes are just crisp
like
and just...
And they're just, but like I'm not used to watching it. I'm used to someone just dropping it and knocking it on and.
And hey now, I ain't a Safa. Who do you go for, Barry? I assume, are you going for the Irish? Sorry, I've got you mixed up with... There's another Barry from the channel who is South African. That was a good kick. Although that's gone nowhere near as far as I thought it had. In terms of the touch ref, I'm half Irish and half Scottish. Ooh, this is a tough game for you then.
Italy.
But I was born in Ireland, so come on, the boys in green. And at least this ref seems better than yesterday's. Says LB. And while they're internationals, clubs huge different, Borthwick would know. Says Deborah. Now nice run from Sione Tuipulotu. 21 minutes through this game already. Johnny Sexton taking off the ball. He is saying. Now Russell, pass up. That was a hospital pass though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And with his hands in the air like he just didn't care, and then he got his rib cage smashed.
No, I didn't.
Ringrose. Back to Conan, one of the 2 subs that Ireland have already had to make due to injuries. Round the side of the breakdown, Ben White. Whose ball is that going to be? He wants it. Luke Pearce says, nope, this is mine. I'll give it to Sexton. Or will I? No,
he doesn't know where Sexton is.
He was just holding it wide. What's this one for? Yeah, good shot from James Lowe on Stuart Hogg. Ball bounce free. So I believe it's going to be a scrum now. Wait, who don't you like?
James Lowe.
Why? Okay, fair enough. Oh, Stuart Hogg got a bit of blood on the forehead. Looks like he's Glasgow kissed someone.
Barry says he's Irish.
Barry's Irish.
He was ripping out the Irish before, wasn't he?
No, he was ripping out the Scots.
Oh, yeah.
So that makes sense. The other Barry's South African. And also goes Scotland, says Frederick, and also half Irish, half Scottish, and also born in Ireland. Come on, the boys in green too, says Chris White. Is that quite a common split,
Yeah,
I guess?
Couldn't tell you.
Connor Murray feeds the ball in now, or not. That one's gone down. It's a free kick to Scotland. Ben White takes a quick tap. Finn Russell, will want a cross kick of some sort.
You're funny.
Thanks. You know, a joke that we always say to my uncle.
Yeah.
We say, what do you call a man in a pile of leaves?
Yeah.
Russell. But that's because his name's Russell, so it that's the only joke that you've got with Russell.
Russell. Will he smack you? Smack you down? Smack you down.
No, he's been on the channel before.
Is he?
Uncle Russ, yeah. Oh, big kick attempt. Kick downfield from Sexton now. And tell you what, Ringrose is getting close to winning this foot race.
There's a bloke coming out of the hill, isn't he?
And that's tackling the man without the... he's tackling the man on the ground, wasn't he? But he's got away with it a little bit there. Now the ball's going to be available at the back for Scotland. I'm going to roll this one back. Back being years, says Mac does everything. Welcome back, Mac. I don't know. I hope teams put players' names on the back of the shirts for the Rugby World Cup.
Crumb to see Ireland fit this is a World Cup quarterfinal. Lol.
That's a Jones. That's a Welsh revenge, says Gareth. For what did I miss with the South Africa? It just seems to be Northern Hemisphere sides don't like South Africa, do they?
No.
At all, for some reason. Now, Ronan Keller. I'm going to throw this one in. Or not. It looks like, hey, this is a huddle. Now, I don't want to be critical.
Huddle.
But they did say in one of the new World Rugby rules that you're not allowed to huddle before a line out.
Yeah.
You know, but both teams were doing it, so I feel like it's a bit of a tricky one. Like, what do you do?
You tell both teams to get on with it.
Well, you would, yeah, but like, who do you penalise if they both not? That's the thing. Could both sides be like, no? And then who do you give the penalty to?
Well, it's mainly because of, I want to say the South Africans were sort of doing it a lot, weren't they?
Yep.
And, yeah.
They had a bit of wind.
Yeah, must be. It's northwest out there.
Is that going to be good for our fishing?
Oh, you know, fish love wind.
Johnny Sexton.
Look how swift that is.
Across to Mack Hansen, Hugo Keenan. Now Murray on the short side. Sexton kicks it through. James Lowe chasing this one hard. Massive in-goal areas in Murrayfield. Remembering Duan Thunder Merva has to force it. And that will now be the goal line dropout. Scotland will give the possession back. I remember the GTA stream when the new update came out. Geez, that is a while. The KO Perico heist update, I believe it would have been.
Yeah.
Whoa. Come on, guys. Says Justin and North mix best team against South. Mix best team. Who will win? It's hard to say because depends on where the game's being played and depends on the stylistic players that you pick. Because, you know, if you're picking a Finn Russell up against the Southern Hemisphere side, something different will happen in that back line compared to if you're picking Sexton as your number 10 for your Northern Hemisphere side. Doing good. And all right there, lads, says Irish. Welcome in. You are doing very well. Nice pop pass up from Tyke Furlong. And that is something else that's impressive about Ireland. Even their forwards, in front row even, have the handling skills of a back normally. And it just makes everything look so clean. Yeah. Richie says, this is mine. I'm going to get it. James Lowe says, I'm on your back, kind of, isn't he?
On your ass.
Yep, but that's going to be unplayable for the Scots, which does mean Ireland managed to walk away with the scrum.
I thought he had that.
I thought he did.
Gregory's like, tell that ref to pull his finger out of his ass.
Go Scotland from a Safa in Cape Town. Love Scotland in particular, says Brian there. And they just feel guilty for what Jabeur did. And the offload game has improved a lot since Sonny Bill and his chicken wing passes. And I don't know, man, the South has been the best players, or has the best players on the wired, or in the world, I think that is. So it'll be no difference to when the Lions tour the South. Although, I guess that's the thing. The Lions plus France. So you're getting Dupont as your option at number 9. You're getting maybe Damien Pinot out on the wing. And that 4-pack, you may... it's tricky to say who you'd have as your loose forward trio because you could easily go with the 3 Irish loose forwards and have a very strong kind of starting lineup. And come on, Ireland, says Tomo. Ball coming out the back now for Conan Murray. So far, Scotland's defence has been strong throughout this match. That was Bundyaki running forward. tackled by Finn Russell. Now Peter O'Mahony round the side. Conor Murray now.
Bundy's a long way away from South Auckland.
Now Murray going across to Conan. They've had to make a third change here for the Irish as well. I do see that number 19 now on the field. So I'll just quickly confirm that is who I thought it was. Ryan Beard, it is not who I thought it was. Nice wide pass. Mack Hansen. Oh, he took his time.
No.
He really did take his time scoring that. And I think he might have been pushed into touch by Duan van der Merwe.
Maybe the headgear. The headgear is just shitting on him, you know?
You think it's squeezing the cranium a bit too much?
Yeah, the headgear is not good enough.
Northern Hemisphere Rugby faster than Southern Hemisphere, says Dinesh. And also we have got there, that was borderline. It was. I don't know if he was in. If he fully sprinted for the corner, I think he got there. But it didn't look like he fully committed.
No.
Luke Pearce looks confused.
He's like, why is this?
Watching this one. Yep. I think that's a try. I want to see him run in, though.
Yeah.
And see why he decided to not sprint. It's raining, George. It's going to be a nice try from Mack Hansen. Was it supposed to rain?
No. Well, I don't know. No, I don't know of. It's so shit, man. Why don't you shut up, all right?
Unless it might just be a bird in the chimney. Should we fire it up? See what happens.
Gas line. Oh, no,
No,
maybe
that's
it's just
right.
the wind.
You sure?
The chimney.
No, it doesn't normally make that noise. Try, says Barry. I'm ready for halftime because I need some food. And too easy for to get outside Duan van der Merwe. Yeah, last time he tried it, it worked out not too badly.
Gareth says they were robbed. Who was robbed?
Maybe South Africa.
Yeah.
The Irish supporters, she is very happy.
Yeah, fuck her.
Mack Hansen scores the try right in the corner, and they don't. Or why don't they have the super slow-mo cameras, these kinds of replays, like they have in cricket? See, look. He was getting going, but it just seemed like maybe he was hesitant
He was
because
getting going.
not much of an arm rep from Duan van der Merwe, if we're being completely honest, but it's going to be the first try of the match for the Irish. They will move to 10 points. They've got Sexton now to try and kick this one from the touchline. Now, for most kickers, this would be a daunting task. For Johnny Sexton, this should be relatively simple, and that's what we call a commentator's curse, George.
Yeah.
You know what's going to happen here?
He's
going to shank it to the left more than likely.
And then everyone's going to be like, you're too old, Johnny.
Sexton taking some deep breaths. Second try for Ireland, mate. Says Google, yes on everyone. No, it's coming around. It's coming around. No. Went away to the right, in fact, for Johnny Sexton.
He should.
It's
a bag of chips there, mate.
I'm of my father's nation, says Gareth. And if Duan played for the Box, they'll probably put him at 12, says Justin. Could it be a future for him at 12? Do you think? Oh, I don't know. Because Darcy Graham, when he returns, I feel like he was a man in form.
So I feel like with the Springboks selecting players overseas, I reckon he would have played for the Box. That would have been different when he was, he would have left South Africa and been like, well, I can't play for the Springboks. And then they would have said, no, you can now, but no, it's too late, isn't it? Silly man. Like Scotland, I like Scotland as a general. When the Queen passed, I watched the TV and it looked great. It was nice country roads,
Oh, okay.
Nice trimmed hedges.
I was confused for a second there because the part that I heard was when the Queen passed, it looked great, and I was quite concerned at where it was going. Now, short ball for the Scots. They're looking to counter straight away. 30 minutes into this match already. Hello, fellas, says Mr. Novelbro. Welcome in. Hope you are doing very well. No try, knee and touch, says Scott Bowie. Though by the frame by frame, it did look like he just managed to get it down first. That is a brilliant kick in behind from Finn Russell.
Yeah, no, the backline movements just seem so much quicker and fluid. They don't drop the ball. They know where their other player is compared to like watching Australian rugby. Where it's just
I guess that's built from years of playing together, isn't it? A lot of these guys are Leinster representatives.
Yeah.
Conor Murray We rolling this ball back. But yeah, Johnny Sexton, I feel like he adds that father figure of the back line, and that's kind of something you need. A guy with a lot of experience that...
Who wants the inheritance?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Andy Farrell in charge of his side. He'll be happy enough with that last try, although he'll want more. They need 3 more to be able to get themselves the bonus point, and surprise, it's actually close. So here's Mr. Maul. Oh, sorry, that was Mr. Novelbro. Master Maul is here. I'm still for an Ireland versus France World Cup final. And also, no, says John. I thought the Irish leads would have been a lot wider by now. It's always hard to tell what no's for, isn't it? Whether it's no for what we've said or whether it's no for in general, or if someone else in the chat said something. Tuhupalotu goes back to Finn Russell, opening up now. Great ball into one for Namurva. 5 metres out from the line, gets his ankles taken down from underneath him. And James Lowe wins the penalty for the Irish.
Dickhead.
Now. Don't hate the player. Hate
He looks
the
like
game.
a dickhead.
He looks like I used to
I was
look.
excited if I'm scoring a score again, and the Irish are going to go,
It was great defence.
Yeah.
From James Lowe getting it over the breakdown. Why don't you like him?
I just don't like him.
Why?
Just don't.
If we ever had him on for an interview, would you be like, no? Like, if I was like, do you want to join?
Good, but, you know.
Would you call him a dick to his face?
Maybe.
Right. Okay. Just tell me what I need to know if I ever interview him.
Yeah.
Don't get George in there. On the halfway line now, it is going to be an Irish line out. Jones Australia will rip through the World Cup and lose the final. Jones is cursed, and James are ruining the fun, says Justin. And goes Scotland, says Niall.
Imagine if Australia won the World Cup with Jones.
It would be pretty impressive.
Like he would have had to have beat a lot of these teams that he's been,
Or James Lowe up the middle now. He's got men with him. Finds the pass to Gary Ringrose, who's taken down by his opposite number, Hugh Jones. Now only 10 metres out from the line. The Scottish have to defend with everything they've got. Tyke Furlong, nice pop pass up. I believe that would have been James Ryan now underneath a body. Or a big pile of bodies. Nice sell of the dummy from Arkey. Almost went through the gap. Murray looks to his left. Schoolman, what a rough pass that was from Murray. I believe it slipped out of his hands, but there's going to be a sealing off penalty against Scotland 5 metres out from their own line. I think if you're Ireland, you've got to try and go for 7 here.
Yeah.
I know that in the game scenario, taking the 3, you're getting yourself a 4-point lead. But in this scenario, when you know that a Six Nations could be on the line and you're playing up against England next week, who surely will fire back at some point. Of course, you don't want to look too far forward. You want to be in the moment, but I think kick for the corner puts Scotland under that little bit more pressure. Johnny Sexton must have heard me, got my voicemail.
Yeah.
Maybe he's got the live stream in his pocket,
Yeah, I'd say he does. I'd say he's quite a smart guy, Johnny.
Oh, okay. No, I've seen why he did a rough pass now. It's because one of the Scottish players just slapped it out of his hands. Ronan Keller about to throw this ball in Ireland all the way. Says Frederick there. Hello, Hamish. And George Bro says Michelle. Welcome in, Michelle.
Hello, Michelle. Thank you well.
5 metres out from the line now. Ireland starting to roll. They've been taken down. In fact, I think they ended up collapsing themselves there. It's getting a bit too much momentum in a hurry. Nice short ball. Now, who's that? Dempsey's in the wrong place, and he's given away the advantage. In fact, it's not him. Someone else has gone in and sealed it off again for the Scots. They are in real trouble of getting a yellow card soon if they don't sort out that discipline 5 metres out from the line. I believe now might be where Luke Pearce has a bit of a chat. No? Oh, yep. Now he's just Pierre Gorman, the man who got penalised. Go Scotland, says Neil. So the winner of this game wins the Six Nations? Not necessarily. If Scotland win, 3 sides could be sitting on 15 points going into the final round. If Ireland win, they all but secure the Six Nations, but because of the win that France had, it means that France could still come in, get a bonus point win over the Welsh, and end up with a better points differential and walk away with the victors. So that all depends on what happens if Ireland lose to England next week, though. But for now, Ireland are undefeated in their Six Nations campaign. Now, Ronan Keller are going to be throwing this one in. Going to the front.
Wee.
It's gone over the top and gone straight into the hands of George Turner. So that is a bit of a reprieve for the Scottish.
Wee.
Now White goes across to Russell. This looks like a counter-attack here, although no, Hugh Jones says, no, we'd rather kick this one downfield, get it away. Massive boot as well. I think Hugo Kenan got a bit of a finger to that.
So she said.
Nicely taken by Finn Russell near the touchline. Goes across. Still fun to move.
Still going.
They have to make sure you got to get him around the bootlaces, or else he just keeps on going. They've just done pass distance 21.8 meters. That's a stat that I feel like is too tricky to try and do for every pass, isn't it? Definitely with the quick moving backlines of these two sides. Scotland go across now. Almost a drop ball from Ferguson.
They're not going anywhere there. They're going backwards.
And Ireland, look at all of them joining into the breakdown.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. It happens.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, but it happens.
Was something. I'm not sure what it was either. You know.
Ben White looks like he might consider going to the year. And also we've got that proper slugfest this one anyways. Says Mr. And also the Bok thinking Gareth. And also there's still round 5, says Scrum Lass. And also we've got that take the yellow, don't concede here. That's a risky tactic because 10 minutes where you don't have your full 15 could be very costly. And also 285 target for New Zealand and day 5 chase down, says Michelle. Will be interesting to see how they go, the Black Caps. Day 5 today. Now Ty Furlong hits the ball up again. Murray goes across to the left-hand side. Keller, 45 metres out now from Scotland's line. Bit of a counter ruck there from Gray. Murray falls on his butt, but still manages to find the pass away to Hugo Kenan. Now Mack Hansen plays half. Thought about it through the legs there, Jack Conan. But I believe there was a forward pass in the process. And that will now be a scrum feed for Scotland. Gregor Townsend shouting at his side.
He's just telling us team.
Those drinks. Did you see those drinks?
What were they?
Whiskey? No, they wouldn't have been whiskey. I think they were some sort of sports drink or something, but they looked all right.
Yeah.
They had bright yellow on the bottle. Do quite enjoy a bit of yellow. I would love to see a team with Bok forwards and AB backs, says Yandri.
Do you like a bit of yellow?
And interesting second half if Scotland keep the scoreline until the break, says Kerr.
That's an odd one, that is.
Look at that. Ruck speed, 1 to 3 seconds, both of these sides. Very quick.
Your backs aren't going to beat them.
No. It's absolute. It's starting to get quite heavy, the rain.
Has it been rough up north? Someone said in the chat earlier, it's been rough up north.
Is it North Island or up north with South Island?
North. Just north.
So it could be an island?
Yeah. Yep. And I think that's why we've got a little bit of work done this weekend on Saturday, because it may be, shit weather this weather, maybe,
Scotland's second half brilliance coming. I like the Scottish scrum capabilities lately. Proper heavies pushing the line as they should, says Mr. Noel Bro. And Scotland can beat South Africa in the World Cup, says Neil. Ben White about to feed this ball in. What's Finn Russell doing, says Krampus. He's chilling. He's had a couple good moments throughout this game, unless you're, of course, ahead of us and maybe he kicks this ball out on the full or something. We don't know yet. It's going to be a free kick to Scotland, though, so maybe not. And also, what do you call a man with no or without shins or feet? Neil. You okay?
There was one laugh.
Just wonderful.
One individual lol. It wasn't ha ha ha. It was ha.
Okay.
But it was but ha, slow down.
What do you call a deer with no eyes?
Fucking deal size.
No idea. What do you call a deer with no eyes and no legs?
Why don't you just keep your shit jokes to yourself?
Still no idea. Get it? You get it?
How much is it raining?
It's raining a bit. Big push from Ireland there in the scrum. Now Finn Russell goes across to Tuipulotu in the midfield, bumping off the tackle with Sexton, but dragged down by Conan Murray. Trying to use this one quickly in the breakdown. A lot of pressure on Stuart Hogg by Mack Hansen. Now almost lost it to Bundy Arkey.
What do you need the Six Nations team for Steve Hansen as your coach? Who would want Steve Hansen as their coach?
Don't know. If Ian Foster wins a World Cup, will anyone want him as their coach?
I feel like I really want him to do well.
Do you?
Yeah.
That makes him one of like 5 million.
I know. I just feel like he's been through such a shit show. You want him to give the right middle finger to everyone. You know what I mean? But people just treat him like shit.
And Ireland/Leinster know how to grind out a win. That's what separates them from so many other sides right now, says Kerr. Yeah, I've got that winning mentality of fighting till the final moment. That's why Leinster are undefeated in the URC so far. Anytime they've had a close game, they've snuck it. And that's what you got to do.
They'll sneak it.
And flashiness has a cost if it doesn't work. And also, we have got there's still no idea. Underrated, says Sighted. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Sighted. You didn't appreciate the joke, did you?
No.
You walked away, yeah.
That's for shit.
And also, we get that Ian Foster has said after the World Cup, he's leaving no matter what. Yeah, leaving New Zealand coaching.
He might go to Australia.
Like, you imagine some random team says, oi, Ian, we'll throw you a couple mil to come coach us.
Yeah.
He probably won't go, no, I'm good. Although he might, because the All Blacks paid him enough money to set him up for life, didn't they?
No.
Yeah, but a few mil gets you a wee way, doesn't it? You know?
I don't think they're paying him a few mil. I'd be surprised if it's on 1.5 million a year.
They were paying a fair bit, which is why they didn't cancel his contract.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want to pay him out.
Like, if he coached, England or something, I don't know how much someone like Hugh Jones would have been on, but, there's not that much money running around rugby. There'd be 2 million would be a pretty good pay for a good coach, a year.
Bit of skill from Stuart Holt there.
Well, I don't even know how much the most highest paid rugby player in the world's being paid anymore. Who is it now?
It was DuPont.
It used to be the little Japanese fella, Takashi 6'9".
No.
He used to get paid like 2 million or something.
Pollard was up there.
Yeah, Pollard was.
Russell as well.
Yeah. Well, Finn Russell's still. Did he sign with the French team?
He was with Racing 92.
Yeah.
And then I think if he had signed in Japan, it was going to be the highest deal ever.
Yeah.
It's not on that much.
The Japanese league is another thing that's interesting, isn't it?
And Borthwick has a World Cup master plan, says Grumpus, and Porter will be with the try-saving tackle. Townsend's contract is up after the World Cup, says into deep in the thick of it. That's the name there.
Because how many players are leaving Northern Hemisphere rugby to go to Japan? A lot, isn't it?
Yep. After the World Cup, New Zealand losing a lot of players overseas.
And so are like the likes of England and France. Like, it's not just the Australia and New Zealand, it's even the South Africans are losing. Like, they seem to just have money everywhere, don't they? The Japanese. They seem to just be, it's interesting. Because before that it was France.
Yeah.
And it still is kind of France, but it seems like every Japanese team has at least 2 big international stars in their team.
Do you think it will ever get to the stage that the MLR in America get that money?
If the MLR start getting big, they'll have more money than the Japanese. Because if you see how much money NFL players or NBA players or are being paid, they're in 5 million a year sort of thing. That's money that new rugby has never even seen before. So,
and I know the Faroe Islands are looking for a national coach. Says Mumbo Jumbo Kiwi. Wasn't Piatel one of the highest paid? Yeah, at Bristol he was right up there, wasn't he, Charles Piatel? And then who else do we had? Although someone said that Finn Russell's now at Bath. I can't imagine Bath having that much money to throw at him, though.
No.
So maybe just a scene change. Maybe prefers playing in England rather than France.
Yeah.
Because to a certain extent, his style in France, when it comes to the territory game, would work well. But when they're attacking and he kicks the ball, I feel like his coach probably is like, no, don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it.
Do something else. And then he's like, but that's what I like doing.
Don't do it. We don't care. We don't care.
You're going to get to see all the highlights from the England-France game during this halftime. There's a lot of the tries that went the way of the French. Pollard is highest paid. And we lose lots of players because the exchange rate makes pay in the north good. 20 Rand equals 1 UK pound. And if America actually put money into rugby, they could be huge because their talent pool would be out of this world considering their size. And we have almost half out South Africa team in this case in Japan, but like we saw last year, they accommodated the Bok requests, says Gareth. And Bath have a new owner, don't they, says Barry Power. Maybe, but the amount of sides at the moment in the Gallagher Premiership, or the sides that are no longer in there due to financial trouble.
Who's left?
No longer there is a Wasps team. They went under. And also there's no Worcester anymore. They went under.
No, yeah.
And a wealth of knowledge there that Finn needs access to. In all fairness, says Mr. Noel an end of contract for Russell at Racing. He was offered a new contract, but cut in pay because they need the money to spend elsewhere. He turned it down and went to Bath, says Kerr. Yeah, so I guess if you're on a good pay and then they're like, we don't think you've gone that well, so we'll cut you a little bit because we want to put it into someone else, you'd be like, nah. Well, that's the thing. I hope they're paying Vinaya Habossi some good money because he left the Fijian drill where he was loved by the Fijian fans and was lighting up Super Rugby to play one game a year for Racing 92 when they have a gap. And that's all he's played so far this year. We're into the third month. He's had one run.
Yeah.
And that's all. And that was a game that they put out a slightly worse team to throw away a win pretty much. And greetings from Sunny. 7 degrees today? Nice. I'm hoping to see a straight line out from Ireland in the second half, says Tony McCarty. And in my opinion, Finn Russell and Johnny Sexton at the moment are the best 2 10s in the world. And here's a weird fact. Ireland was called Scotia in the old days. Technically, Scotland means island land. Island land. There you go. Did you know that?
Yeah.
What did New Zealand used to be called? New Munster or New Leinster? One of the two, I think, we used to actually. Yeah.
No.
Or was it New Zealand?
I don't know.
I'm sure.
We always called New Zealand an Aotearoa.
I don't know. I feel like someone told me that at one point it was New Munster and New Leinster. Unless that was somewhere else. I could be wrong. It might have just been someone saying, or they might have been just trying to claim New Zealand.
Yeah, no, I've never heard of that.
New Munster, says Malcolm Craig. It might be known. It's a fact.
I don't know. I've never heard of New Zealand being called New Munster.
Although that's because they always teach us.
The English were the ones who took New Zealand, not the Irish.
Yeah. And North Island was New Munster, says Phil. South Island was New Leinster. There we go.
I've never heard of it.
That's because they teach us that a man fished it up, don't they? They say that a man used his boat that was the North Island to fish up the South Island, which was a whole big fish, rather than the names of the places. Finn Russell, says Nate. And I also think he's thinking at the Mo. And my family are from Auckland. I was born and bred in Scotland. That's why I know the New Munster, says Malcolm Craig there. And also, should Scotland have just went for a drop goal from the throw-in after kicking about and going for the kick for goal? Says Graham Sangster. It's tricky because every point's going to be crucial in this match. You can tell already that, like with 1 point difference between these two sides, missed kick from Johnny Sexton could be vital. Missed opportunities anytime that there are there.
Vital.
Yep. Like a vital organ.
Vital.
Or organ.
Vital.
Yep. Is there an echo in here?
Yeah. Vital.
There is actually an echo in this room. Though. I don't know.
Vital.
I don't know how we're going to fix that. Our island was Hibernia. And Dunedin comes from Dundee and Edinburgh. And Murray says, Mark, and also, Hamish, did you do the maths yet? Can the Box versus New Zealand reach the final, says Roloff? So I know that they can play each other in the quarterfinal. But if they don't meet in the quarterfinal, I believe the next time they can meet is the final. I don't think they'd have the two sides on the same side of the draw going head-to-head in the semi as well. So they can, actually, or can they? I know someone who was saying that that's not possible, but I think that's because they expect New Zealand and South Africa to top their groups, which I don't think necessarily is going to happen.
Yeah.
I think that would be quite tricky for them to do that. You guys are the only way I can get the game live in the whole world. The BBC have brought down all other YouTube live streams. Thanks, greetings from Tuscany, says Jock and Italy.
Really?
Welcome in.
The BBC, they're so sad.
That's one that we haven't had to deal with in terms of copyright yet. We've had a few copyright strikes along our way.
That's so sad.
Although, were they showing the actual game?
So Rugby Itch, does he get taken down?
No, probably were they the
Probably
ones
like-
showing the footage,
yeah.
Jock?
That's illegal.
I think World Cup could be Ireland versus New Zealand final, says Malcolm Craig. And from Dundee, and never knew that, says Graham Sandster. Because you buried it in Ireland. Imagine, George, right?
Yeah, I imagine.
Ireland versus New Zealand as the World Cup final, right?
Yeah.
You're picturing it?
Yeah.
78th minute.
Yeah.
19 points to 19.
Yeah.
James Lowe scores the winning try for Ireland.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I don't know.
Because you like the guy, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice?
I mean, theoretically, if it's a final, Ireland should be 80-0 ahead because they're the best team in the world and all that shit. So why would New Zealand even be in the final for Ireland? We're not even in the same league.
Should we go to counselling?
You know?
I think World Cup could be Ireland. Oh no, where that one? The Romans called Ireland Scotia. Google it, says Phil. And yeah, it's on the BBC One. Not bad. Good to be able to trace that for back. Says Mr. Nolro. And my farm is Southend, or in Southend. They're very particular.
Is it Los Angeles, Southend?
I don't think so.
Perhaps for life, brothers.
And France look good for the World Cup. And blokes the runks on air now. Drink up, lad. Says Blues Nate. These guys are the only way I've managed to follow Six Nations while out in Singapore and Australia. Have you actually seen the BBC live text updates? Pathetic to be generous to them, says Kerr. See, that's the thing. Whenever someone's like, where can I watch an island or anywhere like that, I always struggle because I get told one place and then it's not that place. So is it on Virgin Media in Ireland, but maybe not? And good try, Roe, but not going to happen. We have there go the Romans called Ireland Hibernia and Scotland Caledonia. I've read too much chat as well. You see, Rose, don't read out Rose, but you know.
Why not?
Yeah.
Which one's Rose?
Yeah, okay, but don't read it. You see that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big shout out to the.
Yeah, I've read a lot of those ones. It's like the ones who try and get me to say, oh, no, there's some really weird ones you get throughout the time. And I was like, damn. Maybe if I was into like the 6th live stream of the day, it might have been closer. But this is our first one. We're a bit fresher today. And used to be able to listen to Radio 5 from outside the UK on BBC website. And now they have blocked it. Very annoying for me living in Scandinavia, where rugby is non-existent. Yeah, we have got a few, I guess, different places in the southern hemisphere to watch it. But even so, like New Zealand's locked to Sky.
Yes.
Australia, I think, are locked to Stan.
Yeah.
And then other than that, like there's no free options to watch the Six Nations in the southern hemisphere, which seems dumb.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's a good way of getting people to actually watch it. Even if you make the first round like free. Something I've seen the NRL doing recently, like doing the highlights of the matches, like the Six Nations do and whatnot, but then they actually end up showing the whole replay on YouTube now.
Yeah.
And like as soon as you're about a week after the game, like you're no longer getting any licensing from it, or you're not getting any revenue from the games, showing the replays, keeping them secret. By then, like the other channels will put the illegal streams on anyway, or like put the replays on to eventually get copyrighted. Why not the official Six Nations put full match replays like 5 days after they've happened? They'll get revenue from that they wouldn't have generated otherwise, and it stops the random channels like uploading lower quality replays, and people will get to watch the competition a bit more. You know, it's just no ideas. No, but I'm not in charge, unfortunately. And they're getting ad revenue from YouTube though. Says into deep the thick of it, which is why they should do the full match replay. Morning boys, says Kane. Welcome up, or welcome in, I should say. And also coming, our boys in green, says Anita. And also rugby is money in South Africa. Your stream is the only one left this side But he is bad. Your streamer's the only one left the site, but he is says roll off. He wants to. That's an interesting comment from Tit there. You sound, yeah, their name's Tit. They're a bit lonely by the sounds of it.
Oh, who wants to sit there for?
And true, if you like a Herbnian Football Club's badge as the Irish symbol with the boot and a football. Interesting. Drink in moderation, gents. There's Blues Nate.
We're not drinking.
There is no, not us, but the people in the chat. There is one left, but he is bad, says Roll Off.
Who is it?
I think I know who he's referring to, but I shall keep it hush hush.
Just tell us.
Oh, Ireland making their way back out of the changing sheds.
Oh,
here we go. Second half, second 40 minutes.
Are you excited?
Yeah.
All right.
Are you excited?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. At the end of the day,
Might have a wink.
I wouldn't. No, not now. At least do it behind the couch.
Okay. And that's fair enough.
I'm a history teacher, Phil, says Mark.
Oh, cool.
Well, actually, it's interesting because you are a history teacher. Joss is a chemistry teacher. Oh, history. I was never good at history, which is weird because I'm normally pretty good at remembering
I feel like
things.
I could have been good at it if I really give a shit back then. Like if I gave a shit as much now, you know.
Yeah.
Who the hell is this one?
One of the princesses. Yep.
But can fly with
I used to be very good with the country's flags, but never bothered to learn where some of the countries actually were, which I feel like was a bad move.
Yeah.
No, because I'd like to know which countries border which countries.
You know what's funny? The other day I was watching a video and I didn't realize how close Japan was to Russia. You ever think about Japan, you think that's Asia. Then you think Russia. You know, that's
half
Europe.
Asia, yeah. Well,
I was like, no, that's right next to Japan. Like it's like a half an hour flight from Russia.
That'll get you demonetized for sure. It would, yeah. Yeah, it would. Maps are fun. And also no sense of either teams implementing a bomb squad of any kind, says Cider. So looking through at the benches, 5-3 and 5-3. Yep, so going stock standard. Hamish Watson coming off the bench for the Scottish side. And also we have got there, come on, Scotland from Kemba. Kicked off for the second half. It will be Stuart Hogg getting us underway. Second 40 minutes and an important one for both of these sides in their Six Nations campaign. Straight away, penalty goes the way of Ireland in the first 12 seconds of the half.
What's that for?
I think it was in at the side. I was just having one of my hands mount the other hand was my description. Now, I wouldn't do that too fast. And I didn't particularly want to do this or do that. It was, being a tip, says Gareth, and Hamish Watson says a crumpus. And did you know that New Zealand is named after the two islands named New and Zealand, says Rowe. Or whatever happened to alternative rugby commentary. I love this foul-month description of the game and his disparaged remarks about sides he didn't like. No, the Alternative Rugby Co. They do still do some commentary, if you're talking about those Kiwi fellas, but they mainly do cricket now because they're actually slightly connected through Spark Sport. So they do the official non-official commentary, if that makes sense, for the Alternative Rugby Collective. Or they're now called the ACC, the Alternative Commentary Collective, if that is who you're talking about, Vincent. Now it's going to be Johnny Sexton. And I just started watching who was playing better, says Courtney. I would say better first half. Ooh, it's tricky because they've been quite even, haven't they?
Yeah.
Scotland have been better with their phase play, I would say, whereas Ireland have been better with their swift backline movements that have got the meters.
Ricky Townsend had tea inside of his cup.
Mm-hmm. It might do. It looked a bit chilly. You guys are class. I'm in Spain at the moment, and you guys are the only way to listen to the game.
Nice.
You are brilliant, so thank you, lads. Says Malcolm. Do appreciate that, Malcolm. we've got people watching all over the world, which is,
Yeah.
I always find it amazing, really.
Do you?
Yeah, because we've probably crossed off so many countries
Yeah.
in the world.
Yeah.
I want a big map, big one on the wall that we can like highlight places where people have watched from.
Oh.
I feel like there'll be a few places that stay unmarked, but from doing the West Indies cricket, I was ticking off like St. Vincent and the Grenadines and St. Lucia and St. Kitts Nevis, Barbados, Bahamas, all these new places that I probably haven't had viewers from because of doing rugby that we had from cricket. Now it's going to be kicked in behind. That looks like, okay, Colestane's done well to take that mark. It was risky to go for it that close to the touchline. Takes the tap, fires it across now to Stuart Hogg, who was waiting in the pocket. Geez, he's got a hold of that.
Yeah. Sure, yeah.
Under James Lowe at the Ireland 22. That was the longest kick distance, 59.1 metres. James Lowe's knocked the ball on in the process. Now Scotland will get possession back only about 40 metres out from their own line. White goes to Pierce Gorman. Now White going back across to Russell. Looks like they will try and run this one out. I thought we may have seen a bit more of a territory battle at the early stages of the second half, but it seems like both sides want to get on with it, get those bonus points for 4 tries. As you get an app that auto map the IPs, says Roller. That sounds a bit too fancy for my brain. I think I'm pretty basic when it comes to technology.
You know, we don't have to track people.
Which sounds weird for me. Not the weird about not tracking people, but like I got my PC because it had a green light on it and I thought it looked cool. Like I don't know what it can do. I don't know what specifications it's got.
Yeah.
It just got a green light and I was like, yeah, cool.
Cool.
That'll do it. Green means good. Green means go, so it's good to go.
You say that every time you come into your room. Green means go, so we go.
Speaking of green, the Irish.
It's just got water in there, coach.
The green machine.
That tea.
Do you think he was off of one, or do you think they just didn't make him one?
I think he just told him to get fucked.
James Lowe now running forward. Connor Murray. This ball on the right. Short ball from Sexton to Porter. It's going to be a knock on. I don't think Porter was actually expecting to receive that ball. He was just kind of running through as the dummy run. Now it's kicked him behind. He's sitting up now for Ryan Beard. Is he going to kick? Oh, he thought about it, but instead now he's going to try and charge forward. Finds the offload of Johnny Sexton. Now the back line for Ireland. Looking like it's just getting a little bit more reset. Almost stolen the breakdown from Scotland. They do get the ball now. Pierce Conan decides to hang on to it. Tackle by his opposite number, or his opposite in the scrum, Tyke Furlong. White goes to Russell. Hugh Jones, the try scorer for the Scottish, trying to break through Bundy Aki. Now doing from the Merva. That was a knock on from him. No, they've said it's gone backwards. Now they say it's gone forwards. But they've got the advantage now for Ireland. Mack Hansen boots it down towards the 22. Finn Russell will take the mark. Go Scotland. Shout out to the people called Hamish, says Hamish. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Man after my own heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my own first name as well. And we have got, do you want to learn to swear in Afrikaans? And Scossa Gent says, Bert, I already know a little bit of Afrikaans swearing, mainly because I get abused every once in a while from angry South Africans. But I mean, I know a few of the words. I know where they, like, I probably know about 5 of the swear words when people bring them out. So I'm like, oh, yeah. And then they're like, haha, read it out. It means I like you. And I'm like, haha, have 5 minutes in the bin. I don't actually do that. I don't abuse my power. No, I let my moderators do it. Josh Van den Fleur actually going to be the man throwing this one in. That's quite a talking point there. Yeah. That means that they've got both. No, why did Van den Fleur throw that if they've got a replacement in Ronan Kelleher? Is he throwing that badly that they have to get a number 7 to do his throwing for him? Yeah. Here's a fun fact. The 7th throw wasn't much better, and now Scotland have the possession back. Now ball bounces up for George Turner. Johnny Sexton tries to get in there, not able to get it. Now, nice offload up to Kyle Stain. Tackle around his bootlaces, Peter O'Mahony. Pierce Gorman. Low tackle on in by Josh Van den Fleur. These two sides have been very even throughout this matchup, and it could be just one moment that changes it. Nice step from Hugh Jones. Ball on the outside now. Stuart Hogg and his 100th match.
Going to the ground.
The Centurion. That's going to be Mack Hansen's ball. And he does end up winning the penalty. Like Verlong, very happy with that one. And also disagree, mate. Scotland are the fitter team, says Gareth. Where is it? Someone must have said that Scotland looked tired. And I really feel like Scotland is clinging on. It seems like it is Ireland's to lose rather than Scotland's to win, says Finn. And Scotland got beat by an unfit French side, says Brian. Although even an unfit French side is still a very dangerous one. We've got to remember France at the moment have built a good amount of depth, haven't they?
I want to see France versus Ireland again.
Unfortunately, that can't happen. Sorry, not yet anyway. Could happen in the World Cup quarterfinals. Would you like that? Okay, we'll get that. We'll send them a letter. We'll see if we can make that happen for you. Scotland. Yeah, Kelleher's gone off, so he's not Flash. He's gone off the field, which now means that they have no front row hookers, do they?
We love hookers.
Hey?
Hey.
So that now means that it could be uncontested scrums.
Yeah.
Because they haven't got a specialist hooker. Unless Josh Van den Fleur also does have that ability. So he went off. Cian Healy makes his way on the field. Ireland could be in some real trouble here.
Yeah.
Because if it's uncontested scrums, that will mean Ireland have to play with 14 men out on the field.
Silly guys.
During that time. Until he returns from his HIA perhaps for Kelleher. If he can. And also we have got the Ireland lost. The other hooker now, says Barry. Now the rolling maul looks like it's working not too bad. Josh Van den Fleur won't mind getting that ball at the back of the rolling maul every once in a while. Conor Murray goes back across to Bundyaki, who has to drop to his knees to take that one. Sexton goes across to Hansen. Good work from Stain there to be able to cut off that backline option. That one's been stripped out of their hands, and it's a knock-on from the Irish. Now Scotland have got the scrum, so we're about to see what happens.
Congratulations.
I wasn't sure if you were going for one of those or you just fist bumping,
yeah.
Yeah, Mack Hansen. Look at that. Strip. Oh, his knee was down, so it could have been a penalty against Scotland if we were being technical, if we're going off the law book, but we're not. And ferocious defence from Scotland, says Cider there. And to be fair, Finn keeping it simple is probably what's kept Scotland from conceding needlessly. True, we haven't really seen a huge amount of Finn Russell flair in this match, but we have seen quite a bit of Finn Russell.
Mia.
No, I was just Finn Russell. I just said it as if there was another part coming, didn't I? That was my
Finn Russell being fine. Oh. Fuck it, man.
Yes. It is currently 5:15 a.m. here in New Zealand, ladies and gentlemen, and George is starting to show signs.
I didn't sleep last night.
I got 2 hours, so we're both buggered really. But anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Ball just about to go into the scrum. Ali Price going to be coming off the bench for the Scots, I believe. Yes, with Blair Kinghorn and Chris Harris, the two other back replacements. So I feel like there's some good moments.
Can that dick in the headgear go away? Every time Scotland have a ruck, he just steals it off them. Gosh.
Is that Josh Van den Fleur, the red headgear?
Yeah, no, the silver.
Silver? Oh, that'll be Mack Hansen.
Yeah.
Now kicked him behind, goes into touch. Is it a 50-22? It was close to one, but I believe they were just inside of the half. And the right grip will get any man upward in the lineout. Even a scrum half can get the tall boys into reach of the ball. There you go.
There you go.
Information in it.
Yeah.
Oh, but my tongue. I've done that quite a bit over the weekend. I think either my tongue has grown or my mouth has shrunk. It's got to be one of the two.
I'd say you've just got many problems.
Josh Van den Fleur, another line-out throw here for the Irish. And that one's going to be nicely taken. Cian Healy offloads it up to Jack Conan. All the replacements having to work together here because, unfortunately, there are a quite big problem.
Yeah.
That was a sentence. But Ireland have got a lot of players missing at the moment due to injury. James Lowe not happy with that kick.
Just where'd they go? Are they all right?
Yeah, no, they're fine.
They're missing. Injured. You mean injured? They're not missing.
Mm.
They know where they are.
They go down the tunnel and they don't come back.
So where did they go? Oh, we got 5 dudes missing. Someone get the helicopter. We got to find them.
Line out throw this time for George Turner. They've
Sounds
got
like he would grow
strong
potatoes.
He's Scottish, but he
They
could.
grow potatoes in Scotland.
Fraser Brown going to be the replacement there, and also Jamie Buddy and Simon Bergen is the front row.
Sure.
Busy night, lads. Says Finn, not hugely, just late night from the weekend led to. Why didn't you sleep?
I tried to.
Yeah, you just
didn't work.
couldn't get over the line.
I just sat there.
Well, maybe try lying there.
Had a wank.
Eh?
Didn't work. Usually I just watch YouTube videos until I start falling asleep and I know it's time to go to sleep. But this time it just didn't. I don't know what it is.
You know what you should have done?
Like,
You should have done? Put on one of my videos. You would have been asleep within seconds.
I would have just been like, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, dislike.
53. Report it. Like usually if I have an energy drink,
Mm.
you know, that night I can't sleep. I didn't have an energy drink yesterday. So I don't know what it was that made me not sleep.
Mm. Whiskey, says Mack. And also we have got there a very heavy snowstorm here in Norway today. Rugby plus beer. What more could you ask for, says Mumbo Jumbo Kiwi. And where can I see the match online?
Beer and then woman.
Match online's a bit tricky unless you are, I believe in Ireland, you're able to watch this game for free on I think it's Virgin Media Player, but I could be very wrong with that statement. I know that I normally get it wrong. Jamie Barty now out on the field for Xander Fagerson. Bergen on the field. That is to replace the tight head prop from the starting lineup, Xander Fagerson. They have just made those 2 changes at the moment. Oh, looks like Jameson Gibson Park now making his way out onto the field to replace Conan Murray, who's going, I don't want to go off yet.
Bloke's got a massive ball patch at the back of the head.
Don't we all?
No.
I think I'm going to be bald by about 25.
You reckon?
Yeah, or at least not maybe.
You can just do it like Mike Mellington. Go to Turkey and get, you know.
I get it tattooed on, eh?
Back in.
RTE today, lad. See, I said RTE yesterday and everyone was like, no, it's not. It's on the other one. So I got it around the wrong way. And wake up 2 cents, lads. He'll be up. He'll be watching this game. Nah, not streaming it, I don't think. But he would do his review straight after, I would think. Be sure to look out for that. Had Mark on the channel recently. And my internet gave out, so they had to host while I was trying to fix Wi-Fi. They being him and Tony from Distracted Sports. But the ball's going to be fed in. Jameson Gibson Park. It's wheeling around big time. So I think Ireland will end up with a penalty from this one. They sure do. Johnny Sexton won't waste too much time to get this ball into touch. And bright lights keep you awake. Get off the phone, says Yuri. There you go. The blue light, I believe it is. That turns your brain on. Yeah. Or it doesn't turn your brain on, but like tells your brain that it's daytime.
I always find that when everyone watching, I just very slowly. And now it's time to put the phone away and go to sleep, and it's just great.
What were you watching on YouTube, though, that was keeping you so engaged?
I was watching some Ukraine war stuff, actually.
Okay.
And then, Japan's rearming.
Right.
Do you know that?
No.
Japanese are going to hurl some shit at anyone.
If I watch a late night YouTube video, it's normally like something quite lighthearted. Like
puppy dogs.
No.
Cry.
No, it'll be like some cricket highlights.
Wedding divorces gone wrong.
Is that a series on YouTube?
Yeah.
Sounds like a category on a different site as well.
Sometimes I watch videos of me cooking steaks on stones.
That's got a good one to watch. Johnny Sexton, 5 meters out from the line now for Ireland. It was actually a very good attacking run.
Steaks on stones, Johnny Sexton.
Now going back across. Jameson gets some Park goes there. Andrew Porter. They've got the advantage. I think Scotland probably are only 1 penalty away or 1 advantage away from a yellow card here from defending 5 meters out from the line. It's just been repeated infringements that might get them into a little bit of trouble now. Jameson Gibson Park goes back up to Cian Healy.
Let's just leave it.
One of the replacements. Now, it's a little bit illegal. That's very illegal. He's still hanging on to it. Does he want a yellow? Referee saying, get out of it, you silly boy.
What was wrong with that?
Because he wasn't allowed to go over the top like that. in that breakdown due to it already being out the back, and it wasn't out
But
the
I
back
saw
far
Ireland
enough
do the
for.
exact same thing just twice earlier.
It all depends on whereabouts the rest of the ruck is formed, though, as well.
So that's so
That's
silly.
close to the line.
You know?
Write them a letter. Jameson gives him back. Why can I pass? James Lowe, the try scoring machine, has got another.
No, that whole ruck thing. Well, this is why new rugby fans find it hard. Like, why can one top guy go grab the ball and it's his ball? One guy can't because the ruck is further back. It's like it should just be fair play,
James Lowe, 9 tries so far in the 19 caps that he has received for the Six Nations. That's going to be. This is a crucial kick again for Johnny Sexton. Now, I jinxed him for the last one, but I got the other one wrong. Or, sorry, hopefully he will get this one because then it makes it a little bit more intriguing. He tried to throw the ball away and smack Van der Fleer in the face with it, and then also took Van der Fleer's legs out from underneath him, who was waiting on the outside. You watch, he slams it down. He goes, throws it up, smacks Van der Fleer in the face, and then Van der Fleer lands on him. Oh, yep, that corner flag got demolished. And Scotland tired and get hog off, bring on Kinghorn. And I was, I love you, or low you beauty, says Barry.
Kinghorn.
And I also write them a letter, Amishby. Says Gareth and Scotland not good enough, says Brian. And get low from the windows to the walls. I remember they decided they played that song at the ball, which was risky because all the teenagers, they were shouting about balls and then skeet mother. Yeah. And then I think the teachers at the back were kind of something going, who selected this song? Where are the classics?
At high school, I found their TikTok account the other day.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's dangerous.
That's funny. Leave a comment there.
7 points to 5, says Brian. And Ireland to steamroll them now. Well, that's the thing. They still need another 2 tries to get themselves that bonus point that may just secure themselves the Six Nations. Because even if they win this game, those two have got to be twins, don't they?
Oh, they are hot.
They also go to the same place for the tanning.
Yeah. Which isn't doing a very good job. Because why would you get a tan on a winter's day in Scotland? That's what I don't understand.
And we have got Common Island. So the kick was successful from Sexton. That looks like an injury now for Cummings, who's trying to jog it off, but that looks like it's not working too well for him. Still kind of leaping. Fraser Brown now on the field. They've said that he's replacing Ben White, but that is the wrong way around. Of course, Ben White being replaced by Ali Price. Scottish number 21, Josh Van der Fleer, are going to be throwing it. Is there anything this man can't do?
He probably can't grow turnips in the backyard.
What type of conditions do you need to grow turnips?
Soil. I think it's not raining.
What type of conditions? Soil, I guess.
Clay.
Yeah, clay. I was thinking more wind.
I don't know anything about fucking turnips. Right. I don't know anything about turnips, so yeah.
Jameson gives them Park, goes across the Bundy Archie, short ball from Sexton to Hansen.
Here they come.
Wide cut out pass to James Lowe.
Oh, piss off.
Now steaming down the wing. Big fend on Kyle Stain. Does the grubber in behind Hugo Keenan chasing Duan van der Merwe. So Hugo got the best of him there. He decided to just take it down 1 metre out from the line rather than getting rid of it when he should have. What's Sexton doing on the sideline? Oh, that's the try.
Yelling at people. Oh, yeah.
No, that's just in case they kick it downfield.
He's lost.
Now Finn Russell. Ooh,
that
was not the best kick from Russell there. And also we have got that little John bit though. Says it's just gone away. I can't see who said it, unfortunately. And also Brian has said, Gareth, you're on the pipe. Wow. Says Brian. And also we have got there. Are you as Welsh as they get? Why are you spawning the Irish? Great kick, says Phil. And with the sweat running down my... Yep, that's the one. And bloody Ireland, says Hamish there as well. On a try mode or a try made in New Zealand. Yeah, good old James Lowe, eh? Your favourite person?
I mean, I think he's good at rugby. I just don't like him. I think he's ugly.
Okay. Interesting. Oh, he's done well to hang on to that, though. That looked like it slapped one hand in the other hand and then squeezed together. Like a claw. Now it's going to be Jameson gives him Park, goes off. A lot of contact there. on Ryan Beard. Getting sandwiched around all over the place. Now, Keller, in fact, it's Kearney now. 15 metres out for the Irish, and they've got 19 minutes to try and work here. Get themselves 2 tries. Nice little loop around Johnny Sexton. Off to Conan. Now Gizem Park. Back across to O'Mahony. He's had a quiet game, O'Mahony. We haven't really seen him that much, but that might be because of how much we've been seeing Josh Van Fleur. And this other loose forward there. That's illegal from Stuart Hogg. He's hurt his shin for kicking Jack Conan in the head. They might want to have another look at that. But Jack Conan scores either way, and the Irish have their 3rd try of this contest up against the Scots. And you can see Johnny Sexton is very happy with what they've been able to do there. And all these comments about foreign players, 30% of the Scottish squad are English. Doesn't matter, says Akaris. And that's the thing. I always look at it like if they didn't want to play for one team or weren't able to play for one team, why shouldn't they go to another team that they have got the opportunity to play for? Oh, no, Stuart, he might have just got unlucky there with where he was standing. Unless he tried to make it look that way. Look at Stuart Hogg coming in. Yeah, no, he just got, I don't know where he thought he was going, but it wasn't where he should have been. Got lucky in the end. Didn't kick him quite in the head. Kicked his teammate in the shoulder instead. The other 50% are South African, says Roloff. And also, we've got the F's sake, not the Irish, please. And no try dropped, it says Scott. And also, what do you call a Scottish shark under a pile of leaves? Is it Russell? No. I like the Russell one. You know? And also, try for the Irish. Johnny Sexton now trying to line up this kick. And this difference in points is going to be pretty crucial for the Irish going into the last round of the Six Nations. They may have a tough game with England. It might be hard to believe after the last English performance, but surely England can't do that 2 weeks in a row, can they? Sexton kicks it straight down the middle. Look at that pump of the fist from big old Johnny.
John.
And Andy Farrell happy with that one as well.
That's my other son.
So, the way that it sits now, Ireland on the Six Nations table would be on 19 points. Now, they would need one more try to get themselves the 5 points, and that would almost secure the Six Nations, but it wouldn't quite. There's still plenty of time left in the comp, and it all comes down to that final round. Now, nice take from Stuart Hogg. Scotland trying to reduce some of that deficit and maybe get themselves their own bonus point here. Sione Tuipulotu, good tackle made on him by Peter O'Mahony. That always happens. When I say we haven't really seen a player, he's always the first to make the tackle. Oh, that man's just given birth to the ball. Finn Russell.
It was funny watching that. No.
Did you? Did you enjoy that? Did you? Sounded like a Formula One car just driving past.
Yeah, I'm good at that.
Flick out the back.
Did you see that? Throw it out the back. Shit, yeah.
Sione Tuipulotu trying to get round Bundy Aki. It's been taken down. Van der Flair tried to get the turnover in the breakdown. Not quite successful. Ireland currently defending on the halfway line. Russell. Oh, it's gone straight through the hands of Duan. Straight through his hands twice. Can he make it a third? No, he can't because they're going back for a penalty to Scotland.
Oh, damn.
15 points. Scotland need 2 tries and a drop goal. Alex Gensch didn't have much to say after France battered them. Well, what can you say? Like, they had many handling errors. They had many penalties against them. They got outplayed. They didn't really do too much right at all. I was very brutal on my live stream. I said the only thing they did well was concede, which was true. They let France score a lot of tries.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And bonus point, please, says Seamus. And Irish fitness is far superior, says Barry. And also, thank God for these 2 tries. I'm happy. I feel a little bit more comfortable, says Seamus. Yeah, at the moment with that 15-point difference, even if Scotland managed to get themselves those 2 quick fire tries in the last 15 minutes, Ireland theoretically should still be ahead by 1. One more try and we have the Six Nations, says Brian Keane. Almost. Unless England somehow beat Ireland and stop them from getting a bonus point. Which, I mean, I like to say could happen. Looking at the last performance, shouldn't happen, but anything possible, isn't it?
Yeah, anything's possible, bro.
And France do have Wales, so the chance of France winning up against the Welsh by quite a margin is quite high.
Yeah.
Ty Furlong, replaced by Tom O'Toole. And England won't beat Ireland in Dublin, says Brian. Yeah, that's the thing. It would be an absolutely miracle performance from the English.
I think they can do it.
lot of Irish supporters in Scotland. Great to see. Like you mentioned earlier on, I know you were kind of saying it to take the piss out of the Super Rugby in terms of the fan numbers, but it's good to see a packed house, isn't it?
Yeah. People having drinks.
Yep.
Old guys as well. None of these young people just going there with, you see these old dudes cruising along because they've been lifelong supporters of Irish and Scottish rugby.
That is something we lack.
Yeah, we don't get that in New Zealand.
When people go to rugby here in New Zealand, like you get the occasional grandfather or something, but like these guys will go down, they just go to have a pint and a catch up.
And a lot of them will have memberships to Premiership sides or URC sides. Lifelong members. It's what Super Rugby doesn't do.
No.
And I sort of feel like with Rugby Australia doing their own domestic, like NRL's like that, you know what I mean? The NRL's got more camaraderie around the competition. Super Rugby's just, it's not, I just don't like it that much.
And refreshing listening to Yi from, that's a name that's quite tricky there. Conan? Hopefully I said that correctly. I know that I've butchered that, sorry, so I do apologise. And go to Scotland next week, go Wales, England, and Scotland. Says Christopher. The passing summary. We have seen 128 passes completed by Scotland, 107 completed by Ireland. And Scotland, they have been going for a few more longer passes, haven't they?
Yeah.
Which hasn't really led too well in their favour. Queven. Wow, I would have never predicted that as how to say it. So thank you very much for helping with that one. The working class don't play rugby in Ireland, says Brian. And also, hey, go easy on us, old rugby supporters, says Josh Pike. But no, the rugby supporters who are older, they're the ones who I feel like are the backbone of the sides. Yeah. Without them, you don't really have the passion or the, like you said, the camaraderie of the older generation. Like you look at, I don't know, the Highlanders, for instance. You go down there, they've got all the uni students who are all partying in the zoo, which is good to a certain extent. Yeah. But
there's but there's also like Super Rugby just isn't the same as Premiership Rugby, you know? Like Premiership Rugby is different in terms of it's a club, not a, what do they call it?
Franchise.
Rugby? Yeah, it's just not the same, you know?
Now, going to be fed in by Jameson Gibson Park. It's a big push from the Irish again, although it was wheeling. So I think Luke Pearce will say, yep, too much of that. And we're going to go with another one. It's turning a little bit too much. And that breakdown, just as a point of interest in the Six Nations, is the best supported tournament in the world. Sport has the highest average gate of any tournament. Says Akaris. And also we have got there, that's why South Africa won't be in the Six Nations, says Calmac. And Super Rugby needs a kick in the ass, says Christopher there.
I reckon it needs a massive. I'd get rid of Sansa. I honestly would.
And Ireland have excellent schools and coaching system. The youngsters have no reason to not be super, says Seamus. And also Super Rugby was always South Africa versus New Zealand. Now, once again, wheeling a little bit, but I believe this time the penalty they're going to give it the penalty? No, they haven't got the penalty just yet, but I feel like it's right on the verge of getting one. And only 12 minutes remaining in this one. Anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We will be back for next week's games of the Six Nations, which are going to be as follows. England taking on Ireland. Italy taking on Le Bleu. France. No, that's a lie. France taking on Wales and Italy taking on Scotland. And maybe drop England from the Six Nations and put South Africa in, says AT. But then that's the thing. I've already seen a lot of South African supporters saying that like they need more breaks in between URC games because they're starting to get tired. Their sides, like they're feeling like they can't show their full potential, but they join the competition.
South Africa.
Yeah.
How's it any different from Super Rugby though?
No, well, they're saying because they also have to take part in the Champions Cup and they've also got their own Curry Cup provincial competition. That there's a bit too much going on in the rugby calendar.
Yeah.
That was only a small minority, though, I should mention, and they kind of got shut down pretty quick by other South Africans. They were like, well, we did it. We joined the competition, so it's our own doing.
Yeah.
Now, Ireland charging forward up to the 22-1 try away from the bonus point. I think that they might be right on the verge of getting it here, George.
You reckon?
Johnny Sexton wrapping ball around 2. Is that Henshaw? It is Henshaw. Good to see him. Now Healy, thrown back by Jack Dempsey. They have to release him. They ripped the ball away. They didn't release him. Now the ball pops out the back for the Irish. Going to be set enough for Peter O'Mahony, who I believe hasn't been dropped on his head yet this match. So he's done very well. It used to become kind of like a regular occurrence.
Does he usually get dropped on his head?
Unfortunately, yeah. He's got, I don't know whether his head weighs a lot more than the rest of his body and he's top heavy.
I'd say that's the issue, because his head weighs a lot.
If he just commits too much and then just gets tipped type thing. But yeah, normally most ones...
What's the security light out there, Nick?
It just means that there's wind.
Oh.
That's about
fucking wind. It's going to steal your shit.
Yeah.
My mate's got that receding hairline like nothing else.
I can't really comment. 10 metres out from the line. Scotland do win themselves their own penalty. And yeah, it's just for a bit of obstruction. Gibson Park couldn't really get out of the arms.
Where's Gibson Park from?
Ireland. But I think he's got Kiwi roots as well.
Yeah, I've heard of him in New Zealand.
Townsend needs to go. Also, we got even 4 extra teams in the Currie Cup. The Pumas got the Bulls 63-15 yesterday. Our rugby live and well here. And also we have got their... Wow, the chat's going quick now. The problem now is we Irish have Scotland and South Africa in the World Cup, says Brian Ham. It's tricky for Scotland, to be honest. And I saw an article that says they're now going to do the Rugby World Cup draws closer to the World Cups. From the most recent scenario, they were like, yeah, no, that didn't work too well, seeing as the team's completely rearranged over the 3 years since we did the draw.
What's that? Rearranged? What do you mean?
Like, so they're going to try and make it so that it doesn't end up with all the top 4 sides in the world all on the same side of the draw.
Well, that's,
So they're going to do it maybe like a year or so out rather than 3. And he's Kiwi, says Fleshin. Who's Kiwi? Oh, Jameson Gibson Park. And greetings from Mexico. And thanks for the transmission, says Martin. No worries, mate. Hope you are doing well. What time is it in Mexico at the moment? Do let me know. But anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Currently 8.5 minutes remaining in this one. Ireland did end up giving away that penalty. So now, in fact, it's just a free kick, rather than the penalty. Ali Price will put the ball into the Scottish scrum after Russell. Goes out wider to Hugh Jones, the lone try scorer so far for Scotland. Kinghorn now out on the field, already having a bit of an impact there. I believe he went on the field for Stuart Hogg. Looks like one of the Irish. He's not looking flash at all, that Irish player. He's like this. That's Mack Hansen, I believe. And I think they might have to stop this at some point, or at least get someone out there.
Knocked out?
He was knocked out, yeah. I think he got his head on the wrong side. And that ball doesn't go into touch. Although Mack Hansen normally has his headgear, so I'm not too sure what happened there. Yep,
they're telling him he's dead.
They want them to stop the game. Luke Pearce has not seen it yet. Now it's going to be kicked out downfield. Right, I'd like to think that this Scottish player, I think he saw it, so he's going to kick the ball into touch. In fact, now Luke Pearce has seen it, and they've decided that they should.
Oh, damn! You good, bro? Oh.
Yeah, he wasn't looking too
flash. You see that guilty look on his Luke Pearce.
Oh, look at his finger. What happens here? So Kinghorn, head. That's Gary Ringrose, in fact. He just knocked himself out completely. Went straight into the hip bone, and then he was sleeping. The one good thing in that scenario is the way that he fell, he didn't whiplash his head backwards. He kind of slid it along the ground, which I guess is the one benefit there, but it looks like he's going to be down for a little while here. For the Irish, they will take all precautions to make sure that he is going to be all right. And Sunday brunch with rugby, says Martin there. Sounds all right, doesn't it? We were actually going to go fishing this morning.
We still are, Hamish.
It's pissing down with rain,
We like rain. The fish like the rain.
The fish don't mind being wet, but we might after a little while.
The fish are already wet. They're in the water.
They are.
But we want to get wet.
Do we really, though?
Yeah.
How committed are we to this whole fishing thing? You just go to Macca's. Get a fillet of fish. That'll do. No, not the same. Hope he's okay, says Calmick. Yeah, hopefully he's going to be all right. They've already got the stretcher out there. I believe they're just taking the precaution. Johnny, he looks like he's taking all the wrist strapping off, but Who else has made their way off the field? I believe the other change that they've made might be Bundy Arkey. So he might have to make his way back out there. Well, that's it. And also we have got the, of course, soccer is far more widely supported. My statement remains true. The chat has been going very, very quickly today. So I do apologise for all the messages that we have been missing. It is great to see you guys. It sounds like I'm about to say something a teacher would say, but I was going to say it's great to see you guys chatting amongst yourselves.
Yeah.
You know, when the teacher's like, just chat amongst yourselves.
Yeah.
Just for a moment. Yeah. It's really wet, George. I just see it. Look at that puddle.
It's just water. It's just water.
It's just going to be
We're
miserable.
going to breathe under the stuff.
But the thing is, there's wind as well, so we're going to cast like 2 meters.
You just send it, fish like the rain.
72 and a half minutes at the moment.
Man, I got
love me some fish and chips.
I got a big ass forehead, man.
You think you got a 4 head? Look at mine. I got a 5 head, mate.
Yeah.
Compared to you.
Shit, yeah. You can play tennis on your forehead.
You're all right.
You can really, really crack a good egg on that one.
Yeah.
My hairline's a little bit. It's going back.
Mine's going back.
Too.
Mine on the sides, like that part. Look at that. When you get rid of that, wow.
None of us has got as bad as Isaac, though.
Isaac's all right. Yeah, but have you seen his beard?
Yeah.
His beard is very good.
Unlike yours.
You're right. Once again,
I'm saying that, man. Shave that thing off.
Yeah. My mum can't look at my beard now ever since she said to her, Hamish looks like he's got pubes on his face.
Yeah.
Like she just can't look at it the same.
Yeah.
Or no, your exact words were, Hamish's beard looks like my pubes.
Yeah. They do.
And my mum was like, did I need to know that?
Yeah.
And you're like, absolutely.
She did need to know that.
Rugby World Cup draw is BS. And I'm with you, Hamish. I just go out and get your breakfast, says Joss. And last end, 2 converted tries and a drop goal, Scotland to win it, says Colonel there. I wonder if they can you guys hear the rain, the pitter-patter in the background or not quite? And also a bit of Irish wind exposure will make that beard bloom, lad, says Peter Healy. Yeah, it's probably just because I don't go outside. But it grows here. It grows here. Don't grow here. Oh, it grows here. I got a mustache, but it doesn't grow for this part, unfortunately. But that is the way that the Six Nations table sits currently.
Bit of my asshole, mate.
20 points differential. But the Irish, they are yet to get themselves the bonus point in this match. And I agree, Scotland stuck in with the box in Ireland as a bad draw for us, says Colin Mack. And the Grand Slam against England on St. Patrick's Day at the Aviva. Well deserved, to be honest. We won the championship if we win this, says Mark. And it makes 2 of us, and I'm exposed to that win all my life, FFS, says Peter there.
Are you good, Peter? I'm sure you're a very tough man.
I see a slight beard on Peter there.
Yeah?
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm sure he's a very tough man. Wind makes me tougher.
Yeah. Oh, they're just showing that big shot. Mack Hansen scoring the first try for the Irish. We have just seen the 1 try scored by Scotland. That was Hugh Jones. James Lowe got the second. And then the 3rd try for the Irish. You remember who scored it?
No.
Oh, yeah. 3rd try of the match was off to the short side, and it was out to Jack Conan.
Oh.
Yeah. Soft as sugar, lads, says Peter. You can see the Irish supporters well and truly in full voice. The Scottish ones not so much when that last try was scored. But it seems like now, I believe the player will be back to his feet. Now, you will see 78 minutes there. That is a lie. They just didn't stop the time. So it is actually only 72 and a half minutes at the moment. So it did take about 5 minutes to get him off the field, but you got to take the precautions, don't you? Player safety, number 1 priority.
Yeah.
Players just trying to keep themselves warm at the moment. He's disappointed. He's shaking his head.
Bloke's got a hot wife, though,
Yeah, so he's winning.
He's winning in life.
Yeah.
He's got a beard, though.
Does have a slight stubble going. And let's Evan go, says Brooklyn. He's happy with the Irish score.
Having a hot wife is very important.
Do you have one of those?
No.
Why not?
Because I like chocolate milk.
And England always get an easy Rugby World Cup pool, says Colmack. And Ireland Ireland from Brooklyn.
Together we will. What is it?
I'm not sure of the next line, to be honest. I always
Together
know Ireland.
we will
Together,
solve the world.
Ireland. Together, we're standing tall, maybe?
Well, they're not tall people, though.
Have you seen old bloody Devon Toner? He's a bit tall.
Yeah, no, he is. Yeah, they have the odd tall person, but generally speaking, they're not tall people.
I mean, the average height. It's a buzzer. Right, he's given I think there was a thumbs up.
It was like, someone help.
I'm clapping him. That man, that shows support.
Yeah.
He's held his beer in he's held his cup in his mouth to clap for Ringrose as he makes his way off the field. On a serious note, Scotland can be like France and get in second gear in the second half. Ireland need to dig in, hold that current mindset. And thanks, mate. Best channel ever. Best wishes to you and Mum. Says a rooster. Do appreciate that, mate. And yes, standing tall. Together, standing tall. Okay. And then is it join us in the next line? Join us. I need to learn the Irish national anthem.
No, you're really right.
That's not a good sight. Best wishes to Gary Ringrose. Shoulder to shoulder. We'll answer Ireland's shoulder to shoulder. We'll answer Ireland's call. Is that enough syllables in the part that I'm on? I should learn how to play it on guitar.
What height are we? I don't even know what height I am.
I'm actually taller than you, aren't I? By a little bit. I'm about 5'10", 5'11" if I go on my tippy toes and stretch my spine. But yeah, about 5'10", 5'11", 179 centimeters. So I'm not a tall bloke, but I ain't a small bloke either. You know what I'm saying? I'm about somewhere around there. So you'll be about 176, 177.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. How's it feel?
Yeah. Yeah, no, you've got pubic hairs on your face, so.
Yeah. Finn Russell back into the action now. 45 metres out from the line here, Scotland. Doing nicely. There are two anthems for political reasons. And Ireland standing tall, shoulder to shoulder, once Ireland's cool, says Kate. It's got a ring to it, doesn't it?
They all do.
I see why they did it.
We should make New Zealand like that. New Zealand, together.
Just
we are
steal it for the World Cup.
Yeah.
We had to write a national anthem in social studies.
Yeah. Back
in the day, and it was actually supposed to be in the tune of New Zealand's national anthem for Antarctica.
Oh, so what does that teach you?
I don't know.
It's so stupid.
It was worth like 3 points on a big board thing that you had to do like mini tasks. You know those ones that you had to do like tasks for 5 points. It's kind of like Jeopardy, but now people like to. Mack Hansen, if he had eyes on the ball rather than the man, he would have been able to intercept that. The one for the Merva takes it nicely down the wing. But yeah, you were supposed to do it in the theme of New Zealand's song or national anthem. We didn't realise it. We forgot that was part of it. So we had to write it for Antarctica. So I was like, I can't even remember. There was one. There was something about frozen feet and trying to cook their frozen meat.
Oh,
I think someone had. Whereas me and Isaac just wrote a rap about Antarctica, which is still a sick rap today. You know, Antarctica at the bottom of the world. If you go on a boat there, you probably will. I won't do the whole thing because, you know, copyright. No, it's not copyrighted, but we should get that one license.
Antarctica.
At the bottom of the world. Yeah, you
know. They
know.
got penguins.
Island. From Keegan there. Now, nicely taken at the front by Scotland. Ellie Price goes across now. It's going to be Hamish Watson out there. Russell. Tui Pilotu. Still time for Scotland here. They can get within 7. It doesn't really change too much in their Six Nations campaign. They need to somehow get themselves the bonus point. And Finn Russell dropping the ball will not do that. Now James Lowe running across to the left-hand side. Nice flat pass out to Jamieson. Gibson Park got space. He's got James Lowe with him. Skip pass. That is class from the Irish. James Ryan, that is shit.
What the hell?
That was really, really bad from James Ryan.
That was shit.
That should have just been a simple go down to the breakdown, then consider the offload, or go earlier than the tackle. James Lowe knows how much of an opportunity that was.
Oh, my gosh.
That was a case of a lock thinking that he's still a little bit quicker than he is, Look at this. This was a great pass from Jameson Gibson Park. Great calling on the inside from James Ryan. All he had to do is offload that back to James Lowe. But he somehow blundered it, thrown it forward, and Scotland survive. I call the answers of the Six Nation teams. And also we have got there Walesers. That was bad. Yikes. Ugh. And also the Kiwi lads featuring Hamish and George with 2 cents Mark, or 2 cents Rugby Mark.
Yeah.
Says nay. Yeah, we have to do some more collaborations with them.
Yeah.
In the future. We've done a few with Distracted Sports. We have Rugby Itch on the channel
We need
for
more woman advice from
Tony. Yeah, his woman advice hasn't quite worked out yet.
He told us to be clean. I said to him, well, what happens if you're not?
You still got Cal done on your
I didn't
legs.
sleep last night, okay? So
Yeah. Do you think a nice shower before bed would have helped you out?
maybe. Oh, something wasn't right, man. Something wasn't right.
Something didn't feel right. Did you try rotating your pillow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Move them around as well.
that's
Move
what-
them around up and down. You know, something wasn't right last night. I've got to figure out what it is. I'm going to have to do an investigation.
Change your sheets
Get the
recently?
depth of the
You know,
wall. Last night I changed my sheets.
that was what's wrong then.
No, because it was incredible.
You
I
were
have to
feeling
get the
too
depth
much
of the walls.
too much pleasure from
And
the
make
new
sure
sheets.
the ear of the walls,
Mm.
you know, and the room wasn't quite right. The new sheets, though, yeah, I mean, I changed that, but you know,
They did take the quick tap there, Ireland, or did they? Did he even tap that on his foot? I don't know if he did. He didn't. That's another massive mistake from Ireland.
yeah.
That's 2 in a row that they've blundered just out from the line. And good win for Ireland. Grand Slam incoming. Are we behind? Is the match over? Oh, no, sorry. Sorry, no, they are winning. But there are 2 minutes left. Sorry, I got confused. I thought that you were at full time, Tim, whereas we had 2 minutes remaining.
Have Ireland lost the game yet?
Nope. They are getting close. And I was like, too many Blues, Nate. They want to get rid of that streak before the Rugby World Cup. England won't even tickle it. And cash in for the bonus pay, Ireland. Now, Scotland look like they're going to have another run here. Finn Russell across now to Blair Kinghorn. Great step. Manages to get around the outside of Robbie Henshaw. Duan van der Merwe tackled there by Jameson Gibson Park. He can have his individual brilliance every once in a while, Duan van der Merwe. But other than that, they're able to shut him down pretty well. Now going short. It was in the end, Jamie Barty now short ball. Scotland looking to continue this attack. They've got 1 minute remaining on the clock. Nice short. No, he doesn't decide to pass it in the end. Finn Russell. Now Price. Going across again to Gray.
Yeah.
His brother did end up going out of the match a lot sooner than they would have liked. In fact, this is one of the matches that's had the most injuries when I said at the start, I hope no one gets injured.
Yeah.
I think there's been about 7 injuries.
Yeah, I think
So
this is going to be, you know,
I might have really
all go
butchered
really
that one.
at the back.
Still available for Scotland, phase after phase. What will they do at 80 minutes? Will they continue to try and attack, try and get their points differential up? They can't gain anything from it in terms of a point. Would they instead tap the ball, kick it into touch,
I'm not sure, mate.
and annoy the Irish? Do the Southern Hemisphere guys think the North has a chance of the World Cup? I think so. Anyone who, I guess, has seen these sides playing,
If they don't win it this time, they never are. You know?
brutal, but to a certain
Because the
extent.
next cycle, you'll see the Wallabies and New Zealand become better again. And then you'll have a few Northern Hemisphere teams slacking off. And then it will be like, well, if they can't do it this time around, then I don't know what's going to happen.
Thank you, Kiwi lads. Says
No
Trees.
problem.
No worries.
You know?
Hopefully I said that correctly, which I might not have, so I do apologise if I did get that wrong. And Ireland can win Six Nations tonight, says Brooklyn. Not quite. Theoretically now, with Ireland not receiving the bonus point as of yet, if they lose next week to England and France manage to beat the Welsh by 21 points and get a bonus point. In fact, yeah, they could actually,
But
this
how
could
the
be
hell
close.
it's not semi-finals, finals?
The Irish now with
I
a
hate
chance
points-
to
I hate
score.
points differential.
This could help really secure the Six Nations. They've gone for the kick and behind. I believe Scotland, if you've got a brain, you just get this ball into touch. What are they doing? They've let the Irish get the ball back 10 metres out from the line. It's a mistake from Chris Harris. That was close to forward. That's a knock-on from Ireland. Now it looks like they're going to try and run this one back. It's a double knock-on into the game. Porter's celebrating, but the job is not done yet.
No.
Next week versus England, that is when Ireland are going to have to make sure that they get at least one single point,
Yeah.
and they should be able to walk away with the Six Nations title. We need the effing bonus point, says Brooklyn. And they weren't quite able to get it in the end, unfortunately. And Leka, thanks, guys, says, but Olaf, no worries at all. Yeah, Ireland, they'll be disappointed not to walk away with that. You can tell there, James Ryan knows that his chance to throw it off to James Lowe could have been that try when they didn't take that quick tap 2 meters or 5 meters out from the line because they missed the tap when the ball was sitting still.
Yeah.
I've just realised I forgot to put socks on today.
Yes.
Unfortunate.
It's fucked.
Why? Letting the toes breathe.
Oh. What do you want, vegan? Go outside and stand in some moss. Let the toes breathe.
15 meters. 15 points difference between these two sides. No excuse for knocking it on. And also, those boys felt that 80 minutes. Says Carl making 3 cheers for Ireland. Hip hip. Says Yuri. And Bill Ireland ref was awful.
Andy Farrell to coach England.
Don't know. I don't know what the original reasoning was.
Reckon he would?
Don't know. Would you want to work with your boy? He's done Farrell before. Well, he's worked with Farrell before, hasn't he? He's been Farrell's coach. So
was he playing Saracen Center?
I think so. I can smell George's toes from here.
I've got socks on.
I can.
Gareth, I've got socks on.
Thanks, Irish. Says Michael. That doesn't mean your socks are clean, though, doesn't it? And favourite Irish stereotypes? I go for horses running through council estates, says Yuri.
Yeah.
I don't really know. I mean, of course, the only ones we get over here for stereotypes.
Silage?
Yeah. I remember a while ago, for your birthday, we were going to get you that silage deodorant, weren't we?
Yeah.
We never managed to find that, but could be an option for the future. And also, we have their bye-bye, folks. There's Mumbo Jumbo Kiwi. And also, I have to say, France looked great yesterday. If they get to that level in the World Cup, it's going to be tough to beat them at home. And All Blacks 2023, yes. And also, Ireland, says Brooklyn, together, standing tall. That's the words.
And short.
Well, and short as well. Yeah, I guess that's true. You shouldn't leave the short people out. They matter too. That's wrong, says Lesion. And also, Six Nations World Cup 2023, don't sleep, says Brooklyn. Well, the World Cup is on in the middle of the night, so I don't think I will be doing much sleeping throughout that competition. By the end of it, I'm going to be absolutely shattered. Yeah. And then we get into another competition starting up, I think, straight after.
Which is what?
I think, the URC will come back, which we will be covering. Probably into cricket season as well, which we will be doing on the channel. And Lowell says Phil. And also Big Bear, Hamish and Co. Says Mumbo Jumbo and cheers Mumbo Jumbo Kiwi. Says Blues Nate. So yeah, anyone who is unaware, 3 tries for the Irish does not mean that they get the bonus point. They are now sitting at the top of the bunch on 19, closely followed by the French, who are sitting on 15. Now, the 3 try scorers for the Irish. Mack Hansen got 1, and he also got himself player of the match. Alongside him, James Lowe, the other Irish winger. And then we did see the try from Jack Conan, who came off the bench early for Caelan Doris. Now, the thing is, Ireland in this match, yes, they won it, but at what cost? They lost Sheehan. They lost Kelleher.
So they just shouldn't have taken part.
They lost Ringrose. They lost Doris. Those are a lot of big injuries that hopefully won't be the case next week. But, it's going to be tricky for them if they have got that many players missing. If they've got both hookers gone.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, the Irish have got good depth, but bringing in 2 new hookers just before the last game.
Sometimes saying you're going to bring in 2 new hookers. Johnny
Sexton going up the stands.
Oops.
I feel like a New Zealand player couldn't walk up a stand in New Zealand without people just bombarding them. Yeah. And yes, they've got some security around, but being able to just walk up the tunnel and not get punched in the head by a Scottish supporter must be quite nice. For Johnny Sexton. What's he doing?
Is he lifting a cup?
He's found a man.
He's just going up there and talk to his granddad. Hello.
Oh, he's going to shake Princess Anne's hand. Yeah. She's got a bowl for him. Is it a sieve? No, it is.
What is it a sieve?
Well, I was just trying to see if there were holes in it or not. It looks like what you use to drain your pasta. Johnny Sexton lifts the cup.
What the fuck did you say? What the fuck? the Princess Anne. We'll give him a sip. Here you go, Johnny, get your rice in there. You give it a shake. He's like, oh, thank you. I'll use that to not miss spaghetti. It's a sieve.
And the Triple Crown Cup. It does look like a bit of a sieve.
I know, it looks like a sieve.
Where's the base gone?
I don't know, but it's probably worth hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Oh, yeah.
It's sieve from Briscoe.
And the Triple Crown lads. Says yarn there. And every year Scotland teased their fans. And Ireland had to dig deep, but they'd done it respect. Says Cole McDan. Could easily argue that was the hardest win for Ireland for this year. Well, that's me, power out in 30 seconds. Says Side of Canvas, but nonetheless, do thank you all very much for tuning into this live stream. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I will be back for next week's Six Nations, next week's Super Rugby, next week's URC. I don't believe it's taken place yet, but it's a little bit further away. 2 weeks, I believe, for the URC, but we will be covering that as well. We've got the sevens coming up. We've got cricket that we are going to be covering on the channel as well. So anyone who is new, sure to leave a like and subscribe, and we will see you all for the next one.
A fucking